From the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James.
At the age of 40. Lakers are 23-18. 21st straight appearance, all as a starter.
Yeah. Good rebound by Reeves. Hook pass! Oh! LeBron! Count it!
LeBron, flex a little bit for me. Yeah, we know you're strong. Working on the offensive glass, gets it, and then he says, I see you cutting. And Valanciunas there just not going up high enough on the elevator to get to the top of that one, and LeBron with a three-point opportunity. That had the crowd buzzing a bit.
Cutting is James with another haymaker. Out of the Celtic defense with a couple right there. Blows right by him.
Peace and blessings, y'all. Welcome to the GOAT James Kingdom Show with B. Lee and A. Johnny. As y'all know, we go live every Sunday noon Eastern time to talk the GOAT debate, basketball, and obviously LeBron James. Today's show, ladies and gentlemen, we come like we normally come right here on the GOAT James Kingdom channel on YouTube. So subscribe to the channel. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, hit that like button if you're watching us right now. Also, don't forget to check out the GOAT James Kingdom membership. As you know, we do this all the time, and we're going to continue to grow, and we're going to continue to give you guys great content as today's show, and we're going to be discussing how LeBron James' 21st straight All-Star selections impacts the GOAT debate and his stance as the GOAT in basketball. So we got our normal panel here as usual. Shout out to you, Craig. What's up, Craig?
Hey, what's up?
All right, and you know who I am. I'm A. Johnny the Exposer, and I got my boy B. Lee in the building. What up, B. Lee?
What's good? What's good, everybody?
All right, so Travis was just here in the building. I don't know what happened to him. Shout out to everybody. Oh, there he go. He came back.
Weird.
Ready. Yeah, yes, indeed. Shout out to you. Travis is in the building. All right, so we're here again, like I said, every Sunday doing what we do best, which is the basketball conversation, which is always going to lead to the GOAT debate. So we all know LeBron James got his 21st All-Star selection, and we want to know, how does that impact the GOAT debate? So let's get right to it, Brandon. LeBron James' 21st All-Star selection, 21st straight, the most games played in the All-Star, the most All-Star selections in NBA history, the oldest NBA honor in NBA history. What does that do for LeBron in the GOAT debate?
Kind of annoying because I have to keep updating all of my graphs with new information because he keeps doing shit no one done before. So that's the hard part on my end. Everything we did has to be updated. That's
Facts.
continue to update his resume. Just continue to update his resume.
I was like, man, last year we were celebrating 20, but how much more can we keep celebrating All-Star selections? He just keeps doing it. Big things after big things. It's just incredible. So let's start with you, Craig. What does this do for LeBron in the GOAT debate?
Yeah, according to Pippen, nothing, because ain't no GOAT debate. Ain't no GOAT in the team sport. You want individual accolades or you want championships?
What do you want? What do you want? I got both, right? I got both. You something else, man. You are something else.
Anything you do that's a positive in your career, especially what LeBron does add to his GOAT resume. Like it is, in the GOAT debate. Like you gotta have a resume to be in the debate, and the better, the more stuff you accrue, the better argument the people that root for you have. So.
That's true too. The fans did.
I don't know if Pippen was trying to troll or is he just bad at trolling because he was doing a bad job.
So Pippen, again.
He was doing a bad job trying to troll if he was.
Pippen just said how he felt, man. Y'all gotta leave Scottie Pippen alone, man. He was just saying how he felt, man. Y'all over here bothering Scottie.
That's
Pippen,
always my
man.
thing. You want individual compliments or you want championships? Anytime
Yeah,
y'all bring up a stat, you want individual achievements.
I'm pretty sure if he would have brought up Robert Horry, it would have been about stats and accolades.
That's why I was waiting for the guy to ask him. So what about Robert Horry? He didn't. That would have been my question. I would have brought up Robert Horry. I would have brought up Bill Russell, even though he didn't even know Bill Russell had 11.
Yeah, he
11. He said 13.
13. Yeah.
But how? Wait a minute. How we get the Scottie Pippen from the 21st All-Star selection, man? Come on, Craig. Come on, Craig.
Craig just being
man.
Craig.
Craig just doing his job. Good job by you, Craig. Good job by you,
I'm
man.
just saying, you want individual accomplishments or you want championships?
Yeah, Scottie got them both. Scottie got it, and LeBron got them both as well. But LeBron just got the most accolades in NBA history. So, and he got the most of the most oldest awards in NBA history. So there's no excuse. Out of everybody who ever got a chance to play the game, everybody had a chance to be in the All-Star game. LeBron's been in the most. Yeah. That's the facts. That's the facts.
Someone has his teammates. Let me stop.
Oh, don't start there. Because if we want to get there, if LeBron's teammates are better due to his their All-Star appearances, then what does it do for the GOAT debate? Why can't it apply? Why can't we just say LeBron got 21?
Based on champions.
Oh, well, listen. LeBron got 21 All-Star selections. Jordan got 14. That's more. 3 times as much. Well, not 3 times, but half as much.
I mean, half of 14, 28.
It's no half of 14. Half of 14 is 7, correct?
No, I mean you say he got twice as more, right?
No, he got half as much more because he got 7 more. That's half of what Jordan got. Jordan got to be half as better just to get up to the GOAT.
Nah, he just had to stay half as long.
Hey, he did it. He did it. He's still out here at 40, dunking on people. Got people moving out the way.
I mean, Jordan was an All-Star at 40, even though they just had to give it to him out of pity.
Oh, wait a minute.
Gave him
Jordan.
He even had to start out of pity.
Jordan to get the starter. He didn't get the start for his 40.
No, that was Vince Carter. You know, Vince Carter was the most popular athlete.
No, they had to bag Vince Carter to not start. They had to bag him to not start because he wasn't gonna let Jordan start.
They kind of threatened him because he said
because there was more talented players when Jordan was 40 compared to what it is today. There was a lot of
or we can just say Jordan wasn't that talented at 40.
He wasn't. Everybody knows Jordan.
Michael Jordan played in the NBA. They didn't even want to vote him as a starter. The fans didn't even vote him in.
I'm used to seeing Jordan average 30, not 20. He was washed at 40.
Because Jordan really wasn't liked back then. That's why.
I mean, he was averaging like 17 points a game. Like the fans didn't even want to see him play. Vince Carter didn't even want to give up his position.
He had to. If not, they were going to hurt him.
They forced him to. He had to do it right at the 2 minutes before.
That's what Mariah Carey was wearing when she gave out her last performance in his last All-Star game. Right?
Oh, that was the All-Star game. He was crying like a little girl. Oh, I remember that.
Let's see.
He's probably crying because they didn't want him there.
He was crying.
They're talking about my wife like that, Craig.
Oh my God, that is crazy, man. Oh, NBA next.
Can y'all believe? But be honest. Can y'all believe that the fans didn't want Jordan to play in the All-Star game? Isn't that crazy?
That is kind of crazy when you think about it.
That's kind of crazy.
When you think about it, that's kind of
LeBron.
Crazy.
Was it LeBron the leading vote getter again?
I thought he was Giannis.
No, he wasn't. It was Giannis.
It was Giannis.
Yeah, LeBron. I think LeBron was top 5 though.
In the West, it was Jokic, deservedly so. The actual best player right now.
Joker? I don't know. Him and
Not even
Giannis.
close.
Him and Giannis. Why are you crazy? Him and Giannis are really they're really making a push for it because Giannis is balling.
Giannis incredible, but Joker's insane.
Giannis
I don't know,
balling with Dame on his team.
Yeah, I mean, he's ball. No, Giannis is averaging 30, 12, shooting 60% from the field. And I think like six assists. He's destroying it.
This is one of those years I wouldn't be mad at whoever gets the MVP. I would be like, okay. There's really only 3 names.
I still say they owe SGA one. They still owe him one.
Do they?
Yeah, they come on. Look.
Why do they owe him that? He didn't get robbed.
Then what's it called? Lose last night? I mean, they're not like really dominating as far as team wise goes. So you know,
dude, put SGA on that Nuggets team.
They don't even got their full squad. When is the last time Shet played?
Dude, put SGA on that same Nuggets team.
And he might not come back.
They're like bottom of the conference.
You would get out of here, man. You're talking about Shea Alexander. He's league leading in scoring. I thought that matters. He lead the league in scoring. 32, 6, and 5. I don't know. Those numbers sound familiar, don't they, Craig?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like
32, 6, and 5 sound kind of familiar to me. I don't know what you're talking about over there, Travis. You need to keep eating your cereal and get your mind right. Get your mind right.
He's not carrying that team. He's not. Joker is carrying his team.
And technically, he's still got an all-star teammate.
Joker's averaging a triple-double. Joker's averaging 30, 10.
Yeah, I'm like the best shooting splits we've ever seen. And he's dominating like in every aspect of the game. He's like, it's not even close.
If they
give
him based on averaging triple-double, then they owe Russell Westbrook 2 more MVPs.
No, was Russell Westbrook averaging like 60% from the field with like 40% from 3? No, he's averaging like 35% from the field.
They still get they're basing it off.
He's doing this with Russell Westbrook on the team.
If they're basing it off of the best player on the team, you know, they have to redo all the MVPs. They need to go back to what it was at the beginning. You can't be like
the beginning the players was voting. That's how Kareem was getting his MVPs. He was the best player on the losing team. So the NBA players was voting for him. That's what the last time you had a losing a team who didn't make the playoffs have an MVP.
They have to stop switching up the narratives of MVP.
Yeah, that's why we should that's why it should be it should be taken out of like the media or whoever's voting for
it. Should be just like they do in the All-Star. It should be a culmination of everyone, since everyone got a voice nowadays. They should treat it like the NBA All-Star. Percentage from the fans, percentage from the media, percentage from players. They should do all the awards like that. Because then you'll get an idea.
25% across the board, fans, coaches, players. Media.
I wouldn't say give fans that much, but you could get a sense of who they vote for.
I would say awards just take fans out of it, but that the media, players, and coaches, I agree with that one.
Yeah, that'll work too. But they got to give the media something though.
They giving them permission and likeness to use their products to advertise.
That's what I'm saying. You need the media. You need the media to advertise.
Yeah, the media pays. Yeah, the media makes the NBA go. So that's why they got. That's why they got the votes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They should. But what do you think though of the fan voting? Because the way it works, right? This dude Melo didn't make the starter for the All-Star game, although the fans voted him top 3.
Yeah, fans voted him in.
Yeah, and the players voted him. I believe the players voted him top 5. But the media, but it never had nothing to do with that.
They're not going to reward a player. They rewarded him by being on the team. They're not going to reward a player with that team of a record starting. Like, that's not look good.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but when you really think
Melo averaging like 30, ain't he? Ain't he? Averaging like 30.
20, like 28, something like that, like 28 points per game. He's killing it, and the fans want to see him. That's
what I hear when y'all say these.
The fans want to see him.
Yeah, player was the 3rd rank. Fans voted him the most. Well, the 3rd ranked guards voted him the most in guards, and the media 3rd.
Yeah, he's averaging 28.9, 29 points per game. He's 4th in the league.
Right behind shot attempts. I love shot attempts from the 90s, though.
Who him? He shoots the ball a lot, and if people don't like his shot selections. So far he's shooting 24 shots per game.
Damn.
It's a lot of shots. It's a faster pace too, though. It's a faster pace. He's shooting 42%.
Don't give me that.
Oh, pace is okay.
Pace matters now, huh?
Oh no, pace. Of course, pace matters. When Jordan was shooting the most, the pace was higher. When Jordan was taking 27 shots per game, the pace in the NBA was a high.
Oh, okay. I just never heard context applied to it. It's always just a negative thing.
That's a lie. You show up on Go James Kingdom, all you hear is context. It's a lie. It's a lie.
So Jokic has the best stat line. He's leading the league in 3-point percentage, right? With anyone taking at least 4 threes a game or more. He's 57% from the field.
Who, Joker?
And his team it's the same reason why Giannis is in the conversation. His team's a 4th seed too, but you don't hear like Donovan Mitchell getting.
His team is 2 games. His team is 2 games ahead of the Lakers. Travis.
Shit, yeah. From the 4th seed, what they say from the 4th seed to the 11th seed is like 2 games behind everybody.
Yeah, it's a tight race.
But from the 4th seed to the OKC, it's 8 games, 8.5 games. That's the difference. That's a big difference.
OKC has like the better team by far. Although Houston's out there, which is weird.
See, look, like Henry Hardaway says, we want to see stars. They're fun to watch. We want to see LaMelo Ball play. We want to see these superstars. We don't want to see Joker, who don't even want to be at the All-Star game in the first place.
Victor should be starting.
Victor, another guy who should be starting. Exactly, man. Why is Anthony Edwards not a starter? How did they vote in Stephen Curry?
And his record, what is they like under 500?
Exactly. What you talking about records? How is he in? Exactly. What did you see them last night? Like they looked horrible. But let's keep it real.
Show, stop putting Golden State in the Lakers.
Did you guys watch last year's All-Star game? And you want to see more of that?
That should just end the prime time between.
But let's be honest though, because obviously the fans voted them in, the players voted them in, and also the media has put them in there. How much longer can KD, Steph, and LeBron actually carry the NBA? Because obviously they're letting these guys be the starters of the. I don't know why.
Well, you know exactly why. It's because
they got a playing style that they actually enjoy watching. Everybody else plays the same.
It's not that at all. What is that? It's because of the lore and the reputations they've built because of their past battles. Fans thrive on that. They're your favorite players because of what they've been through. They played exhilarating series multiple times. They played, there was wars, there was dogfights like involving these guys. These guys built up like the beef that is necessary for like popularity to grow in the NBA. It doesn't matter what they're doing statistically. Like Steph and LeBron and KD aren't going to be the leaders in the league of really anything this year. But it's because of what they did in the past, and it's a fan voted thing. Why are we acting surprised? Like
I'm just saying
they didn't get the most votes.
I know, but obviously they got them. They're in it. Of course, they got the most votes. I mean, Kevin Durant's played 34 games so far this year. He's averaging 27 points per game.
It's a name recognition. Like we're not surprised. Like why are we acting like we're surprised?
Stephen Curry is averaging only 22 points.
Nobody said, "Look, let me look at Kevin Durant's stats before I vote him as a starter." No one said, "Let me look at LeBron James stats."
But people been complaining. But people been complaining that the All-Star game needs a revamp. They need to do something. Well, let's start by not letting these old dudes who don't really want to play not be starters in the All-Star game.
None of them want to play. What are you talking about?
Nah, them other dudes want to play. You put LaMelo in there. LaMelo wants to play. LaMelo wants to play.
Why? He knows they're not getting their best effort.
What do you mean? Everybody's watching. He can sell. They all sell the.
Everybody's watching, but they know what they're going to get. Everyone's just like kind of out there. They're playing half speed on defense. They're playing no defense at all. They're just out there to set each other up. It's like it's a show. It's like a show. It's not really a game.
So let's bring in some of these studs that are defensive studs into the game. Let's bring in a Rudy Gobert. Let's let Evan Mobley.
The NBA All-Star game is supposed to be what would happen if you put the best
vote for Bam. Let's Bam get in there.
Play a serious game, a serious 5-on-5 game against the best players in the world, and then they turned it into a sideshow.
It doesn't give them anything.
How am I gonna go out here and have to guard? Man, you crazy? You want me to go out here and guard Stephen Curry? You want me to guard? I mean, come on, man. This is hard.
They're not guarding anyone. They're standing still and letting them shoot because they know it doesn't mean anything.
It's hard to guard. You want me to go guard SGA? You want me to go guard Jason Tatum? You want me to go what you want me to do? Joker's about to dominate. What you gonna do with Joker? Who's stopping Joker?
I mean, the only way to fix it is to put the world versus the U.S. That's the only way to win. All-Star game.
The world ain't gonna win.
Why not? Why not?
What world All-Stars? So you got Giannis.
Because they are gonna make sure to play hard. They are not going to go around there just shooting wide open threes. The U.S. is not just going to let the world beat them in an All-Star game. It's
Well,
going to change the whole narrative. It's going to change the whole narrative.
It could be USA versus the world, USA versus New York. I mean, just say they need to do something.
Yeah, that's the only way to fix it.
They did do something, right? They did explain like it's a new format. It's like three teams.
That 5-on-5, 3 teams, the rookies, the rookies and the 2 East and West, something like that.
I mean, let's see how it works. Let's see how this works. But I know if it was the world versus U.S., it would be a dogfight. Look at what just happened in the Olympics. It was a dogfight. They didn't want to lose. It's some pride in it.
You would never have that happen.
It's like no pride in it.
They had that a couple of years, didn't they? Like for the rookies, they had that during the rookies.
Yeah.
For
the rookies.
The USA versus the world.
And they actually they just had the USA team versus the WNBA, and they play hard. Yeah, they play hard.
That's crazy. All right, so let's do this here. Let's see if we can watch let's see if we can watch what the NBA is trying to explain when they're talking about this All-Star game. Let me put my computer volume up. Let's see what they talk about. Y'all can see it? Uh-oh, ads. The NBA ads. Can y'all see that?
Yeah. I see it.
Oh.
Another exciting NBA All-Star is right around the corner, and this year we've got a brand new twist to the All-Star game that you are not going to want to miss. We're talking more games, interaction, tons of entertainment. This will indeed be about seeing the brightest stars in the basketball universe in a way you've never seen them before. So how's it working? Well, I'm about to tell you. The typical East versus West format is go. Let's get this crowd into it. Let's hear it. We're doing it tournament style. First, the All-Stars will be drafted up in 3 teams, 8 players each. Who's doing the draft? Why'd you ask? None other than Teddy, Charles, and you.
Oh my God.
GMs of their own teams in this All-Star knockout tournament. These 3 teams.
Team Charles, great. Team Kenny. Oh my God.
Each team plays 1 knockout game to determine which 2 teams will advance to the final game.
What?
How will the games be played?
Yes.
We'll turn the game clocks off. And the first team, Ernie, to 40 points wins the game.
What?
Man,
who chose 40 points?
Kenny, you good? Oh, I'm ready. Check. Can you dig it? I'm ready, Ernie.
So what was the point of having a starting 5 if you're still going to have a draft?
That just means they are guaranteed in. That's all.
So they're not even on the same team then. If they're still doing a draft, they just guaranteed a starting spot on a team?
But I guess. I mean, that's something though. That's something different. I mean, I know they're going to play hard versus the rookies for sure. They're not going to let rookies beat them.
I mean, I like that.
The rookies though.
It's better. I mean, it's better than versus the world. Like the world versus U.S. It's not better than that, but this is something.
Well, the world is the U.S. as far as like some of the best players go to their respective teams. That's the other reason they're competitive.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like if it was the world versus the U.S., it would be very competitive.
Mm-hmm. They didn't make it like how it was in the MLB. For a while, where like if you won that conference, got like home court advantage.
I mean, a lot of players don't even care about that, so they're just going to do the same thing as always.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's not going to change the effort, though.
I mean, if it meant something, it has to mean something. Otherwise, you're not going to get any effort because what you don't want to get hurt. You're not getting paid for it. It doesn't mean there's no motivation to try your hardest. Like, why would you?
Especially while you do the world versus U.S. If you
The
do that,
logistics of
the
that would be
U.S.
tough, though.
do not want to say, even though right now, I don't know if they include Canada in the world, because if that's the case, the top 5 is probably in the top 4
Yeah, your
is going
best
to be a
players will
one
be.
team.
Yeah, exactly. Like they would destroy the NBA.
I doubt they'll destroy them.
Who do
But
you have?
the U.S.
Luka,
play hard.
Giannis.
The
You have
GOAT.
Luka,
Doesn't
Giannis,
matter.
Joker, SGA.
USA got the GOAT. USA got the GOAT.
I mean, we just saw what they did in the
Joe
Olympics.
hasn't played
So,
basketball in like 20-some years. Like,
Yeah,
what is
16
Jordan
points a
gonna-
game.
No, that is what Pippen did. Pippen didn't play 20-some years ago. You right about that. Pippen hasn't played in 20-some years. You definitely right about that.
I guess he's your goal if you talking about Pippen.
Pippen said he was the GOAT, right?
That's right. Pippen said he was the
Pippen
GOAT.
said
Why
he and Magic were the GOAT. Who are we to disagree?
not? Great. Hey. Yeah, he said
Because at
Jordan
20 years old, he won one game without Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in a finals match.
yeah, because he jumped ball.
But that's why I really don't be caring for the All-Star game anyways. I really don't care for it. It really hasn't been good in a long time. There's no need for
I
it.
told you when LeBron went to them 8 straight final appearances, he fucked up the All-Star game because he made it. He exposed how one-sided the league was.
These dudes actually do play harder in a pickup game during the summer than they do during the All-Star game. That's for a fact.
Yeah, they play harder in practice.
Yeah.
Because
But
they're playing to
what it
prove
is.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're working-
I
they're
turned that
working
off
on
the
their
last
game.
year. I was like, this is garbage. It was just so terrible.
There is nothing to prove in an All-Star game unless you add something.
It's the competition. Competition's the key with every sport.
I mean, the only time in the last 5 years where it was like when it was actually good was, remember the last quarter, the first team to like 20 points. That's when they play hard. That's when they play hard.
Yeah, wasn't it like by quarters too? Like some weird shit.
Yeah, I
too?
forgot like who win quarters, and then the last quarter, whoever wins the game. Like that's when it was actually a real game.
Wait, so they doing this
Mhm.
all in one night? So somebody got to play like 3 times in one night?
I mean, you only scoring 40 points. They can do that's a quarter basically.
So the first to 40 and threes or something? That's all we going to see?
Let's
You're
just
gonna
get
see a
work.
bunch of threes. That's what you're gonna see is a bunch of
Especially
three-pointers.
if they got to play another game, you know damn well that's what's going to be. The first to 40 and threes. Ain't nobody going to play hard, and they got to play hard again right after.
So when Shaq and them pick their teams, that's it. They just gonna pick their teams. They're not gonna coach them. Like, how's that gonna work? Why would you have 2 coaches? And what are they gonna do?
They're not gonna coach
Bragging
anything.
rights.
I mean,
Just
Kenny Smith's
bragging
gonna be-
rights on TNT. That's all.
They need to do the one-on-one tournaments they've been talking about for years.
Wow, who's gonna want to do that and lose one-on-one in front of
That-
national TV?
That would be fun. You know, I like remember when Jordan and Magic supposed to do it, and Jordan got scared. So I don't know if a lot of players gonna do that, run with their tails between their legs like Jordan did.
Well, they have to do it by position too. They couldn't do it by.
That's probably why he ran.
Why not? If Magic's a guard, Jordan's a guard. What are you talking about, Travis?
Jordan
No,
said
I
he
mean,
ain't trying to be known as a one-on-one player.
Okay. Anyway, we're talking about today.
Travis, gotta stop making excuses for Jordan, man.
But that was pretty
Brought up
funny. though.
Jordan.
That
I
was
just said
pretty
let's do
funny.
one-on-one. You guys said, "Oh, Jordan, you want to do that?"
He did.
I'm
He didn't
just,
want
it was
that.
just, it was funny that he did that. That's all.
Yeah, he didn't want that. He didn't want that smoke. Jordan didn't want that smoke. So all right, so who can save the All-Star game? Because obviously we don't believe Joker, Giannis, none of these guys gonna be playing hard. LeBron, Curry, Kevin
Giannis
Durant.
plays hard.
Giannis gonna play
Luka
hard.
don't play hard if he plays.
Don't want to play
it-
for games that
Luka's
matter
not.
in the
Is he
season.
even an All-Star? No, he's not. He probably won't make it 'cause he hasn't really
He's hurt.
played.
Yeah, he's hurt.
Yeah,
He's hurt.
he's not gonna make it.
So who y'all think's gonna get snubbed for the All-Star game in 2025? Who you think, Brandon?
I ain't really thought about it. I gotta
Anybody
think
gonna get
about it.
snubbed, somebody gonna get hurt, and there's gonna be more replacements than the actual All-Star.
Yeah. Those people who get snubbed make it because of injuries. I don't know. Because Anthony Davis should make it.
I don't think Anthony Davis.
Like,
is not
I
gonna-
think-
I don't think Anthony.
We all know one person that
didn't.
didn't vote for Anthony Davis.
How
For
so?
sure, you know,
LeBron James is starting,
Right about that.
but Anthony Davis isn't even in the.
Oh, I mean, Trey Young, he's always getting snubbed, ain't he?
Well, he made 3 All-Stars. I think he only been voted in once, something like that. There was a stat about him in the All-Star
Yeah,
game.
he got the
that I
most
thought was-
All-Star games due to injury.
He's a 3-time All-Star. He's a
He's a
3-time
3-time because you got hurt All-Star.
He's a 3-time All-Star. I thought he missed the All-Star game because there was something that I saw where they were talking about him and how he be getting snubbed all the time because he's been a baller for a very long time.
He's the number 1 choice when someone get hurt. He's the
But
number
I
1
forgot what it
choice.
was. I forgot what it was. It was something I saw online just scrolling through the GOAT James Kingdom time feed. But I think if LaMelo don't
greatest
make it,
All-Star
it's going to
replacement
be a
ever.
snub. But LaMelo has to make it. For me, y'all already know it's Tyler Hero. I mean, Tyler Hero got to be an All-Star this year, man.
He averaging career highs.
He's balling this year, man. He's balling. He's one of the best 3-point shooters, one of the best scorers in the league. He is balling this year, man. He should be in the All-Star game.
It looked like they
But-
took Bam last little bit of layup juice and gave it to Hero jump shot.
That's true. But I mean, that's maybe somebody from Houston might get snubbed. We know John Morant could make it, right? Maybe John Morant gets snubbed. You think they'll snub John Morant?
Nah, I think he learned his lesson and he been all right this year.
You think
John
Brunson might get
is definitely getting snubbed. Not Brunson starting, ain't he?
Yeah,
Is it?
Brunson's
Did
a
I-
starter. Brunson's starting.
Oh no, he is. I was like looking at the. So okay, Mitchell. What was I saying? Mitchell got Karl Anthony Towns, Jason Tatum, Giannis. How is AD not? Never mind. We're never getting that.
Yeah, you're gonna ask, yeah, because of Kevin Durant and your boys Stephen Curry. That's why they made the All-Star team. You're
This is
not
how
gonna
you
make
know
no-
it's only popularity based. It's not
Yeah.
results.
Wow, you telling me Anthony Davis doesn't have fans? That's weird.
Why would he?
We know we got he got haters.
He plays on the same team as LeChoke, dude.
He don't
Like,
got no haters. I'm his only hater, and they go in on me about Anthony Davis. I can't. There's a thing I saw the other day where it was a graph showing like somebody getting had 30 knives pulled on them by people, and they were asking what basketball take you would have that would put you in this situation. And I was like, yeah, me saying Anthony Davis is a defensive liability put me in that situation for sure.
only because it was a bad take.
It's not a bad take.
A terrible take. How's the best defender in the league a bad defender?
He said, "Damn, he goes the best defender in the league." All right,
Randy, it's
don't-
because he doesn't
don't let me go
stop
show
what the
the
other team is
clips.
doing.
Okay,
Don't let-
okay.
don't let
Second,
me go show the
second if
clips.
you want to add Wemby.
No, don't let me go show the clips. 'Cause you brought
Show the clips?
even
Yeah.
last night. Even
What?
last night.
How many clips? Like 10 out of 1,000 plus?
You know that do fans vote for all NBA or defensive elections?
No.
That's wasn't
The
AD
only
that
votes-
last year?
The only
Wasn't-
votes fans we get
Wasn't
are for
AD
All-Star games.
all team defense and all NBA?
Yeah, he was
like-
all defense. He was all defense last year.
Yeah, he was the only player to do it.
He was going to make.
I mean, he
it.
was
the
all
only
defense
player in the
first team.
league to
I
do
mean-
that, right?
No, he was going to make it because of the non-positionless. If it was position by position, he wouldn't have made it.
Oh,
His bum
Oh,
ass.
so we rolling with that now?
you
just
said who would have made it, Bam?
No,
No.
Anthony Davis wouldn't have made it.
He
Bam
was
probably
first
wouldn't have made
team.
it either. They would have made.
I mean, he was first team. That don't
Because it was
make
because
any
it was
sense.
positionless. Because it was positionless.
He was first team.
Because it's positionless. He's a
Do
center.
you
ain't he?
understand what you're saying? Do you
Yes,
understand what you're
he
saying?
wouldn't
Right?
have been. He wouldn't have made the first team center. He wouldn't have been the first team center. He
Who
wouldn't
would
have
have
done
been the
that.
first team center? Who would have been the first
Easily,
team center?
Rudy Gobert, defensive player of the year. Why not? Hello,
Okay.
What they didn't
Hello.
do it for Marc Gasol.
Number one
Why
defense.
you saying it so confidently? Marc Gasol wasn't.
because it's not LeBron.
Marcus
Yeah.
Gasol
It's
wasn't
not
was
LeBron.
it even all NBA? So that don't
The
even
thing is,
count. That was
AD's
just
doing it.
No, all
that was something
NBA.
weird. That was
He
something
was
weird.
he was all NBA first team last year too as a 4. I mean,
Yeah, and AD's doing
Giannis-
it because he's the best
Giannis-
player on both ends of his team. Like, who else is doing that?
Okay,
Giannis?
So's LaMelo Ball. Best player on both sides of the floor on his team.
I mean, there's
He said, Brandon laugh at that.
Like he was so serious.
Yeah.
He was so serious. Like LaMelo Ball, man.
He is. Who is better than LaMelo Ball on defense over there? Who they got?
I'm pretty sure a lot of players are on his team. I don't like watch him.
I don't watch them. I don't watch them.
I watched him a few times, but I don't watch him play on defense.
You
He's a
know
scorer.
it. You knew how many points he averaged. You ain't know his defensive win shares. You ain't know nothing about that.
Nothing about that. Exactly. That's Michael.
Nobody
That's
watches
Michael.
defense. We watch him
That's
score.
Michael Jordan. That's Michael Jordan's team. Nobody trying to watch Michael Jordan's team play basketball. He don't know how to select no basketball players. He don't know how to make nobody better. He don't know how to select defensive players. Jerry Krause know how to select defensive players. Not Jordan.
Jordan know how to select players, period.
Exactly. That's right about that. Talking about, hey, you know what? Ja Morant is only averaging 20 points per game, 20.7, 20, just 21 points per game, shooting 30%.
Yeah, Josh not making the All-Star. What are they ranked? Is they in the top 4?
They're the third ranked team in the West. It's OKC, Houston, and then it's them.
Yeah, he's definitely getting stuck.
And they have
Jalen Green is too.
Who y'all think will get coach of the year? I think this year gonna be interesting.
I don't know. They like Kenny Atkinson. They think he's doing a great job because a lot of people didn't think Cleveland would be this good.
Yeah,
but they were the playoff team last year. So
how is that even a question?
Yeah, but they're really good this year.
I mean, they're on pace for 70 games. So
that's what I'm saying.
Say Yume.
No, Yume is up there. Yeah, Yume is up there as well.
Yeah, no, they won 48. Listen, they won 48 games last year, and they're basically they've already matched that at the halfway point of the season. Like he's going to win Coach of the Year, and they have like the same roster. It's not going to be close.
No, he actually did a great job. A lot of people didn't think Houston would be this good as well. But it's going to be hard with the way OKC, because if OKC and Cleveland get close to 70 wins, wow. And they're both on pace for that.
That's crazy. You don't have two teams that
Cleveland's
win
gonna fall
70
off a
games.
little bit.
You know how horrible a league got to be to have two teams win 70 games? Because I know one team won 70 games, and that was the worst. That was called a plumber's era. But you might have two teams win 70 games.
Well, Cleveland's actually lost 3 in a row, though, right? So they're not going to.
No, they
mean, they're not going to win 70. Neither team going to win 70. But if they did, LeBron has the best luck of knocking them off. So.
Well, they both. They're both. Cleveland's 36-9, and OKC's 36-8. So yeah, it would be hard. They would have to really continue on a real good streak to stay at that pace. But they got a good hold on their conference. That's true. Cleveland has been losing some games recently because I think they were just recently like 36-5.
My parlays.
Or 35-5. They are messing up people's parlays, man. Shout out to Gilbert Arenas for watching GOAT James Kingdom and also supporting what we do here. And shout out to Lamont on FYF Sports Debate. As y'all know, we do this every Sunday noon Eastern time. We're talking about the All-Star game and the selections and the players getting snubbed and obviously what they're going to do to make the All-Star game better. Which I really don't see how they can make the All-Star game better. I just think
there's only one thing. One thing.
It is
one.
It is what
you have to put pride into it. If you lose, you lose some pride. So every year, if the world keep beating the U.S., man.
But they can't do it right now because the U.S. just won the Olympic medal, so they got to give it some time.
They do have to do that.
What if they give the team a point every time a player gets a block or a steal?
No, that's too much of a gimmick. That's too much of a gimmick.
That's gonna be hard to stat.
Brandon, they gonna play 40-minute games. What kind of gimmick? That's a gimmick.
I mean, giving points for blocks and still come on now. That's
that'll make them play defense. That means now if I'm down 10, I get a block, get a 3-pointer. That's 4 points.
Right.
Right.
You just have gambling going on they would just be in the passing lane.
I'm saying they'll be playing defense. They'll be playing defense. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, just put the world versus the U.S. and it solves it. It solves it.
The world has no chance. The world has no chance. You're talking about putting Rudy Gobert out there. You gonna put Rudy Gobert.
Jokic, Giannis, Luka, Shea. Come on, man.
What's his name? You're gonna put Valanciunas so that LeBron could dunk on him. Who's the dude that LeBron beat? That's his name. Valanciunas, is that his name? To do that. LeBron?
The world would have the best starting 5 easily the best starting 5.
Let me see who's in the world in the All-Star game right now.
Yeah, the world you'd have ideally you'd have like Embiid, Joker, Giannis. You look at SGA.
You guys want all-star. You guys want the all-star game to have the guys who don't play no defense. All the international players. So you
No
have
one
Giannis.
plays
Giannis
defense
All-Star
in the
game.
All-Star game. When have
We're
they
trying to-
played defense?
As I'm saying, we're trying to find defenders. We're trying to find guys who's gonna play some defense, right? That's what we're trying to do.
They
Like you
haven't
said,
played it yet. If you're an All-Star,
So okay, so you got Giannis. You have Giannis, SGA, Joker. Is Carl Anthony Towns from like Dominican Republic or something like that, or is he American?
I think he said he's going to play for the Dominican, some other country. So yes, he's from somewhere else.
All right, so out of the starting 10 guys, you got 4 international players. You got Joker, Giannis, SGA,
You know what?
and Cat.
Let's just look at last year's All-Star game. Let's look at last year's All-Star game.
Okay, let's look at
Let's see what that was. All-Star.
Let's look at the All-Star team. All right, so the last year's All-Star team. Let's start with the Eastern Conference here. Let's go. Eastern Conference, you got Bam Adebayo, the Nigerian Nightmare. You got Giannis. Where's Banchero from?
Bam is playing in the U.S. He's on the USA team.
Okay.
Bam is from Jersey. What you talking about?
Yeah, he said Bam is from Jersey.
Bam is on the
All right.
U.S. You
So,
are
all
not
right, so-
taking Bam.
Okay, so we can't take Bam. Okay, so all right, so then there's nobody else. Where's Scotty Barnes from? Is Scotty Barnes Canadian? Or where Scotty Barnes is from?
Let me see. They got, I don't know.
Oh no, Scotty Barnes
he
is from
from-
Florida. He from Florida. He a Florida
Okay.
boy. Okay, he from Florida.
so
Okay,
Giannis,
so you
and
just
you
got
got
Giannis.
Embiid. And
Okay, hold on.
and
No,
Embiid
Embiid's
from
American.
last year.
Embiid's
Yeah,
American.
he is. It's just Giannis on the
Just like
East.
Bam. Just
All
Giannis
right,
in
let's
the
see
East.
the
That's
West.
it.
Let's see the West.
Okay,
Let's see if we got players.
We got Luka Doncic,
Luka,
SG,
you got Shea,
SGA, and Nikolai Jovic
Jokic.
and Carl Anthony Towns.
Jokic. They don't
Carl
have enough
Anthony
players.
Towns. Yeah, well, no, because that's what I'm saying. Because now you would have to go for players like Segun. We would have to add guys like that, right? Sabonis, right? Sabonis is Sabonis American? Is Sabonis American? Where is Sabonis born at? Domantas Sabonis was born.
Probably America.
Yeah, his father was
He
here
went to
for a
Gonz-
while.
He went to Gonzaga. It doesn't say where he was born at. Oh yeah, he was born in Portland, Oregon. He's an American. We can't put Sabonis on the international team. They're not gonna have nobody, man.
I know that's
Who you gonna use? You gonna have to use, like I said,
sucks.
that sucks. Okay, so let's go to the top scorers in the NBA.
Well,
Let's see how many,
Sabonis
international-
actually played for a different country in the Olympics, so he counts.
Okay, so he counts. All right, so so out of the top scorers again,
So
we got
just go to
Joker,
NBA players on a foreign Olympic team. You'll see all the players that represent another team.
Yeah. So they literally had 6 last time, 6
Then
or
they
7.
say they had the most NBA players playing in the Olympics this year. It shouldn't be hard to find some foreign talent.
I mean, they actually have to draft some players, like just bring some players up to play.
Oh, so you say
In
they
the
are
US,
G leaguers?
Yeah, and the US gonna have like 15 players on their squad.
Okay, so let's see here. So let's see here. Okay, so Australia. Oh, Dyson Daniel is from Australia. He's an all-star. He could be an all-star. He's one of the best defensive players in the league. Josh Giddey? No. Let's see here. From Canada. Let's go. So Canada got Dylan Brooks. Can we put Dylan Brooks in there? RJ Barrett? SGA?
Barrett.
Oh, Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray is from Canada.
Yeah,
We could put
Jamal
Jamal
Murray
Murray.
can finally make the All-Star team.
Oh, we can put
Victor?
Jamal Murray. Victor
We got
Wembanyama is from
Victor,
France. We got Victor and obviously got Victor and Rudy. So those are another 2 all-stars that we could put on there. Then Germany has Franz Wagner. He's an all-star. He should be an all-star, even though he was kind of hurt. But we could put him. Oh, Rudy Chimura's from Japan. We could put Rudy on the all-star team, bro.
He's not making an All-Star. Yeah.
Nah, okay.
Yeah,
I
don't think you can put him in there. I don't think you can put a 4th option in the All-Star game.
Okay, so we got from Serbia. We got obviously we got Joker. What about my guy Nikolai Jovic? Can't put the boy from the Heat on there. No, he only averaged 10 points per game. He can't make it. These are all the guys that play on international teams. There's nobody. There's Giannis, Joker, Wagner, Wemby, Rudy. Let's see here. Jamal Murray, SGA, Dylan Brooks, Lou Dort, RJ Barrett. That's really it, bro. That's nobody. And Dyson
That's
Daniels.
competition I was hearing all summer.
That's gonna make that's what's gonna make people come and watch the All-Star game.
That's
Watch
the
those guys play.
competition I was hearing all summer. This the
I mean,
most
what-
NBA players in the Olympics ever.
Kristaps Porzingis.
Okay. They're gonna have to split it up between 3 teams.
He said 3 teams.
Yes, 3 teams.
Shaq Kenny
World
and
got 7.
What?
World got 7, and there's 14 USA players on 2 teams.
Listen, matter of fact, make it defensive points. That's all you gotta do is make it defensive points. Just count all the blocks and steals for 1 point.
They are never gonna do that.
And add it at the end of the game. So whatever the score is at the end of the game,
Yeah.
the team that ends up with the most blocks and steals get added to their point total, and we see who wins that way. Then they'll start playing some defense.
Let's just stop saying that, everybody. Come on, you know that's
we're
not
down.
happening.
We're down 12 points, and we can get 4 steals and 3 3-pointers. We back in the game.
No.
We back in the game. No, I'm saying I'm
No.
gonna try something. You gotta try something, man. That's what it's all about, man. Shoot, man. We see y'all in the comments, man. Thanks for joining us, man. We having fun with the All-Star game. We do better with the All-Star game than the NBA can do with it. I don't know why they thought Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith. Can you imagine who you think's gonna pick the better team? Charles Barkley, Shaq, or Kenny?
Kenny.
I can see one of them fucking up the first pick. I can see one of them fucking up the first pick and pick a.
They should all have an agreement. One of the 8 teams is the world team.
Who you think's gonna be the number 1 pick?
It all depends on who gets the number 1
It's an all-star game.
Because
So
Charles Barkley is not going to pick LeBron James.
it's an
Shaquille
all-star
O'Neal's not
game.
gonna pick-
So no one's picking Jokic.
yeah, like I'm saying. Yeah, Jokic is
No
not
one's
a,
picking him. He's gonna be the last pick. I would say Giannis or Steph.
Steph. They're gonna lose.
Yeah, he's a shooter.
Yeah, like he was shooting last night in the second half. Exactly how you gonna shoot.
yeah,
Stephen Curry.
that is wild. Yeah, I don't
I mean, it's an all-star game. I mean,
It's an All-Star game. It's Curry's like 15th All-Star game. He don't care, man. He don't care.
it's an all-star game. It's not the real thing.
This is his 11th. He ain't been in. He haven't been in.
No, I know. It is his 11th. You're right. It is his 11th.
Yeah, he got hurt this early in his career, so he.
All-star
man.
game's a shooting contest, so Steph will be probably the first or second pick.
Damn.
I mean,
So
we already know LeBron's not gonna play that much, so there's no point in picking him unless you just bother to say you picked him.
So wait a minute. So Stephen Curry got less All-Star selections than Chris Bosh? Is that what it is? Hold on, let me go check this out because I think Chris Bosh
What?
got like
No.
12 All-Star
Chris Bosh
selections.
don't got no.
No, Chris got 11. He just matched Chris Bosh with 11, and he has less than Dwayne Wade. So that makes Dwayne Wade better than Stephen Curry. Oh wow!
This is why all-star selections
Oh,
mean
wow.
exactly nothing.
It doesn't? You sure about that? You sure?
The all-star game means nothing, but
Yo.
these selections mean something.
Travis, do you want individual achievements? Do you want championships?
How- It's an individual achievement driven by popularity. It's not statistically based. It's just who's your favorite player. Okay.
No, technically, back in the days, the All-Star game was for players who were the best scorers. You scored 20 points per game plus, you were gonna make the All-Star game more than likely. It was really a game for the stars.
They
the
really
best
didn't have
players,
that
the
much
best
stats to track.
scorers. That's true too. That's true too. But some guys would make it. Guys like Mutombo. We know, Rodman made a couple of All-Stars. Some guys who wasn't scorers in general, but in general, you were supposed to be a scorer. The most popular.
Those were the players. Those were the.
Kobe made it
players
off the bench.
coaches picked. Didn't the coaches in this pick the reserves?
Yeah, the coaches used to pick the reserves, and I still think they do.
They still do. I mean, the all-star selections mean something. It's an accolade. It's just the all-star game don't mean anything anymore. The actual competition, because they don't play. But being an all-star, that means something.
Yeah, I want to be in
That means the fans like you and they play and the coaches think you okay at basketball.
Listen, if LeBron was averaging like 16 points a game this season,
That's the best season more.
He still would have been a starter.
Who?
If LeBron was averaging like less than 20 points a game this year, he definitely still would have been a starter.
Yeah, that's something Jordan.
I mean, Jordan, they couldn't do that for Jordan because Jordan played that bad that they was like, no, he's definitely not starting. The fans he
Jordan
did.
just had more
The
competition,
fans said that.
more
I think
skill.
LeBron-
Yeah,
think
that's
LeBron's
why he
gonna
didn't get
retire.
voted. The fans
LeBron's
said
gonna-
that.
Yeah, LeBron is going to retire before he ever plays that bad.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan was averaging like 17 points per game up until that point.
The GOAT don't play that bad. The GOAT don't come out here averaging 17 points per game for All-Star break. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, well, that's a Jordan thing.
What's wrong with you,
No.
man? No, what's wrong with you, man? Talk about that. We haven't had enough conversations about the man Michael Jordan, man. So, you know what? You know, we got Travis who comes through every week and he sits here and lets people know, like, listen, if y'all gonna be out here saying some silly things, leave it up to A. Johnny. A. Johnny will give you something silly to talk about. But y'all out here saying reckless things in comment sections, and guess who's out here checking you out? Obviously, that's Travis. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got another great chat bomb with T Perfect.
We are interrupting our normal programming. The current threat level is critical, meaning an attack is imminent. Civilians are advised to remain indoors. In some urban areas, evacuations are taking place. If you're in one of these areas, police will help you to safety. Follow their orders without question. You should remain indoors until you are told otherwise. You should now prepare for a nuclear strike. You will not be able to leave your location for 14 days after the strike.
What's up, guys? Hey, hate to do it to you this time, and I'm gonna have a lot of fans and maybe a lot of haters on this, but we're gonna do this because it's time to be petty as hell. So recently, we've seen a lot of bad takes where people have been using, not only on this channel but on every channel and every page that I've seen. People have been using lowlights, and admittedly so, lowlights to actually dictate, especially when you're talking about the grades, to dictate a player's ranking, not their overall career. They're using lowlights, bad parts of their career, things that were few and far between in order to dictate where they rank or like their positions all the time. And, you know, mainly, I'm not going to lie, mainly they only do this for either LeBron James or Michael Jordan. I've been seeing a ton, mainly because I've been hanging out here, a ton of attacks on Michael Jordan for this. People say, oh, he didn't shoot well in this series, or he had a couple bad games here and there. Well, you know what? We can play that game. Just to show you how stupid it is and how disingenuous, I'm going to be completely disingenuous today, okay? And I'm going to talk about their idol, LeBron James, because we can play that game and we can give no context. We can just be as petty as you like. We can do it, okay? So as you all know, LeBron didn't win anything until year 9, right? He didn't even make the playoffs until year 3. Why is that? Okay, well, one of the factors is that during his first 2 years, LeBron had 21 games where he shot under 30% from the field, 51 games where he shot under 40%. Compare this to Mike's first 2 full years where he shot under 30% just twice, okay, and under 40% on just 26 occasions. Okay, playoff time, 2007. Let's go. Round 1 or round 2 versus the Nets, 21 points per game and 40% shooting, including games 1 and 3 and 5, where he averaged just 19 points on just 34% shooting. Choke. Luckily, he had guys like Drew Gooden, Daniel Mosher, who had to step up in game 6, where, again, LeBron underperformed. Out the window, okay? What about the Pistons series? Same exact story. 25 points per game on 41% shooting. And if you take out his incredible game 5 performance, his stat line dives to 21 points per game on 32% shooting, okay? Including his closeout game 6, dud, where he checked in with 20 points on 27%. Let's go. Okay. Luckily, Daniel Gibson closed things out off the bench with 31% on nearly 80% shooting. Where was LeBron? Obviously, we know about his abysmal finals showing there where it's 22% on 35%. So, or actually 22 on 35. So, all this is common knowledge to you. Okay, so what about a 2008 where he had a first crack at the Celtics? Celtics jump out to a quick 2-0 series lead. Why? Because Braun shot 8 for 42 through the first 2 games. Okay, even in the Cavs' 3 and 4 wins, he was still shooting sub 35% from the field. He was abysmal. Okay, eventually that poor start proved too much for the Cavs to overcome. They lost in 7. What about 2010? MVP LeBron with home court and another crack at the Celtics. Okay, Cavs were leading 2-1 before, guess what? LeBron pulled off maybe the biggest choke job in NBA history, okay, averaging 21 points per game on 32% shooting over the next 3 games, including 30% in the fourth quarter of games 4 and 5. Cavs lose. Okay. Hell, 2011 isn't even my biggest top 3 LeBron choke jobs. Okay, because at least he was relatively efficient in that series. He was just too passive and scared. Okay. So a couple of cherries on top. During LeBron's 8 years before he won a ring, he faced a top 5 defense on 8 separate occasions. He averaged 27 points per game on 38% shooting in those series. Compare this to Jordan's 7 series versus a top 5 defense where he averaged 35 points per game on almost 50% shooting. Okay. Also, during his first 2 finals performances, LeBron averaged 20 points per game on 40% shooting, the second worst combination of points per game and field goal percentage of any consensus top 10 player of all time during their first 2 finals trips other than Kobe. Okay. So what does all this information mean? How does it affect LeBron's overall ranking and my view of his career? Am I going to be petty and say, you know what, Jordan, hey, LeBron had a few bad games, just like how they applied to Jordan and dock him? No, this means nothing. Okay. So it means I provided basically no context for any of this data. And like I always said, when we're dealing with the greats, we judge them off the totality of their careers. Okay. We look at the body of excellence rather than low points, and those things were few and far between. All these things are just part of the road being greatness. LeBron's overall career was fantastic. Again, obviously, if we deep dive a lot of the series, we see a lot of the reasons why he performed poorly in some of these things. Again, it means nothing. Okay. So when it comes to any of this or any debate, we can't allow ourselves to fight fire with fire, as in try to counter one bad take with another. We have to meet bias and hate with reason and sanity. Okay. We have to be frustrate negative agendas and casual takes with intelligent indifference. And we have to have higher IQ outlooks on the sports world as a whole. Okay. That's the only way we're going to grow as a channel community of pure basketball fans. Hate and vitriol for any player, again, it's like fire. It'll burn out if it's not fed. Okay. But also qualities like reason, hope, and logic will also burn out if we don't cultivate them properly. Okay. So we have to choose the right one. Yeah. We have to ignore this bad takes because we can't just stoke it out and feed off each other. So good. We have to meet all this stuff like actual true basketball fans. Okay. Choose the right one. That's it.
Hold up, Travis. Hold up. Wait a minute. What happened? I thought you were supposed to talk about Michael Jordan's 96 performance in the playoffs. What happened?
No, I did better. It's all right.
Huh? But wait a minute.
I have some questions though.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, exactly. This is the actual conversation that we're supposed to be having here. Somebody on a Facebook group that I can't post in because I'm banned in wrote, why don't Jordan fans ever mention the 1996 NBA Finals and how awful Jordan played in that series? How did we go from you just rambling about all this stuff like we say about LeBron playing awful in the playoffs? You never mentioned Jordan's playing awful playoff series or him playing bad in the playoffs.
That's because I did last week. This was his comeback.
Happened, Travis? Travis, this was mean work by you. You even had Willie rooting for you, man. This is mean work by you. This is nasty work by you, Travis.
Hey, it's fuck LeBron all day today, man.
Oh my God! Shots.
Hey, Travis. Travis, are you saying that LeBron James played bad in some games, or that he choked?
Did you not just hear exactly what I said? I meant everything I said.
I had to like get the kids situated. I heard something about choking.
Go back and listen to it, B-Lee, and you'll get it because I'm not about to explain it again.
I'm just acting like
here's what I'm saying.
He's choking or played bad.
Every single show,
single
show we have, and every single time you get on Facebook, there's takes about every player, right? With LeBron, Mike, especially about Michael Jordan lately, where they're saying people have come up and said, oh, they'll point out certain games he had, not even just finals, regular season, a couple of playoffs. They'll say, oh, he shot this poorly against this player, or he's doing this and that, and they'll say that they're using those performances to knock him in relative to other greats. They say it's only has to do with Mike. I've confronted these people. They say it's only their logic only applies to Mike. They'll be outspoken about this. And so if they're going to do that to Mike, I'm just saying you can easily do that to any other player, not just LeBron, but any other great. You can like easily pick lowlights out of their career and use them to do whatever you want. And I'm saying it's so ridiculous to do that. And so, yeah, LeBron has lowlights too. Every player does. But when you're only highlighting them when you talk about those players, it shows that you're not actually a true basketball fan. Okay? And so I highlighted a bunch of LeBron lowlights and under the pretense that it knocks him in my overall ranking, which is false. Okay? So I'm just trying to point out how stupid these people are when they talk about any player like that. Mike, Kareem, Kobe, whoever you want. That's not how we should look at players' careers.
But I thought you was gonna show us how Jordan didn't play awful. So you just gonna say it's
No,
fine?
I don't care. I mean, I could go into that series specifically, but it was about the overall.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care about Jordan
That's
playing.
This is how y'all deflect. They say I'm a good deflector, but I don't see how LeBron playing bad got to do with Jordan never being mentioned for playing bad in '96.
It's like you didn't hear anything I said at all.
I did hear what you said. You said a lot about
No, this
LeBron.
is just a specific example of people using like small portions, sample sizes of someone's career. In this case, Jordan's. It was an overarching narrative. That's exactly like I could talk about the series at length, but I'm not going to. This is what I said in the beginning. People like this guy and other people talking about specific things in order to knock a player.
So we're not going to talk
It wasn't
about
just about this series.
So you're never going to mention 2007, 2008, 2010 no more, right? You're not going to bring those up, right? You're not going to bring up 2015 no more, correct?
I don't think Travis do you?
You're going to stop bringing up those years.
Bring up that.
No, I was talking specifically about
Travis doesn't bring up LeBron. He doesn't.
Do you? I don't think I don't remember. Do you?
Do you?
Nope.
I don't
think he does.
I've never ever used a bad series in order to rank LeBron ever.
Yeah, I don't think Travis do. Travis lies about LeBron not being a GOAT. That's about all.
I do that.
That's the only thing he do. He lies about that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the chat bomb with T Perfect. Shout out to you, man. You survived the bullets. And although you're throwing shots and sprays at every LeBron fan and LeBron, you are something else, Travis. I got something for you behind. I got something for you.
Travis only did that because last week I showed 7 years of Jordan underperforming.
Yeah, he did dare me to do that.
So he said that he's gonna show how LeBron underperformed. But Travis agreed that Jordan did it worse.
Somebody did ask out where was Crash Out Herm at. Herm's not here today. Herm's probably listening.
Herm pissed off. He's pissed off at y'all.
Herm gave us a gem. Shout out to Pee Wee Herman in the building, man. This is, you know what? You know what? This is what we're going to have to do, man. We're going to have to settle this. We're going to have to figure something out, Travis, because I don't like that, Travis. I was ready to break down Michael Jordan's 96 series. I was ready to help you defend Michael Jordan. Now you just gave me more ammunition. Now I'm just going to use it for another time on a Zesty Jeffrey. They're never going to expect it. They're going to be like, how does A. Johnny know about this? And it's because Travis told me about 96.
So Johnny prepared for this segment, and Travis.
And I found a 1997 interview with Phil Jackson, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. Y'all already know I'm doing my research. Y'all already know I'm doing my research. Y'all know how I do, man. Y'all know how I do. Because I got to be on point, right? Because if I go anywhere, say something silly, they come at me. Even right here on my own platform, they come at me for saying stuff that they say is silly. So we all know if you have a horrible take, Travis is going to find you. But we also know that Craig is here to balance the show out. He's here to make sure that everybody who shows up on GOAT James Kingdom knows what they're talking about, because we trust Craig to be the most intelligent panelist we have here. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give you checks and balances with Craig King.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
Sir, now that you've got your check, do you plan on quitting your job driving this truck?
Truck driver? I ain't no truck driver. That's right, baby. I just bought this truck straight cash. I'm rich, biatch.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. This one I should have done this last week when we was talking about it, but didn't do it this week. It's not a bad take on I've seen recently. It's more so again with the Pippen thing. I have a gripe with it because first he's like really inconsistent with stuff he was saying. Like first it was Team Jordan, then it was Team LeBron, now it was Team Nobody, then it was Team him, and you can't constantly talk about your teammate and then try and the one person that has a legitimate argument go against the grain. Like if you're gonna be with your teammate, be with your teammate. If you're not gonna be with your teammate, don't stand on what you say. That whole you cannot say with a straight face. Like I'm trying to honestly think what to say that you can be mentioned in the same breath as LeBron James. Like I understand you think y'all have a same playing style, but he did it better. I'm just gonna put it like that. And yeah, this is gonna be a short one because something came up. But yeah, that whole I just can't believe you would say that about LeBron James. So yeah, this is that's wild. I still can't believe he said no.
But Craig, let me ask you a question though. Why is everybody so angry with Scottie Pippen's words, but they're not angry with the actual interviewer? Don't you think a lot of those questions were silly questions?
But if you know that, if you watch his interviews, he do that to every panel, and whatever profession you on, he pushes that. He does this to everybody. It's not just because it was Scottie Pippen. He does it to political people that he has on the show. It's just not athletes he does this to. He does this to everybody.
It was a hard
you gotta watch
interview.
his other interviews, even with political figures. He antagonizes them. He knows what they don't like, and he'll push the issue to have that soundbite, to have that soundbite. And Pippen gave it to him when he said that he don't think LeBron or Jordan is a GOAT. That's
what he does all the time. That's probably why Pippen didn't want to go on there. He said it took him years for Pippen to come on. Pippen didn't want to, hear what he had to say.
That's what he does to his guests. Watch what he does to his guests. He antagonizes them. He
didn't do that. He didn't do that to Shaq.
When he senses that you upset him, he'll push it. He'll ask it a different way. He'll ask you so many times so he can get a soundbite, and then boom, clickbait. He does this with every person he has on his show. That's why it's not because of what Pippen did. It's because what he do to people.
So we gotta blame Patrick. He's an idiot. He's the wrong person to interview Scottie Pippen, basically. But Scottie Pippen did give him a lot of snippets, like you said. He
did. He asked him a lot. Questions that he should have asked, because that's how he asked him. He did exactly what he's supposed to do. And Pippen gave him the answers that he wanted.
All right, so out of all the people who were despising everything that happened with that interview, Craig did come with some checks and balances. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Craig is here to balance the show. You have poor takes, Craig is going to let you know about it. Craig is the person of high class. He has nothing but great taste on his mind. He likes to do the big things, and he likes to make it perfect. He don't like none of this nonsense. So when you come on GOAT James Kingdom, Craig will definitely check you, and that's why we have him here. So we appreciate you, Craig, for that one. That was checks and balances with Craig King, ladies and gentlemen.
You can't have a GOAT debate with just one person. It makes no sense. Like I'm glad there is a debate, because what we watching in basketball today.
Scotty's just mad that he wants to be in the GOAT debate. Y'all keep asking about the GOAT. He keep telling y'all there is none, but if you want to talk about it, I can give you several takes.
You gotta have at least one league MVP. At least one.
That's true. You have to have one league MVP. You gotta have at least. I still think you have to be a multiple champion. I don't think you can be a one-time champion and be the GOAT of basketball. So you have to win multiple NBA championships. You have to have a league MVP. You got to dominate for 10 years plus. Which is why Jordan's not in the GOAT debate. He only did it for 9.
He did it for 10 years. You ain't saying
not in a row. Not in a row. I didn't say in a row. Yeah, I didn't say in a row.
10 years in a row. You just said 10 years.
But yeah, I mean, I think those things all matter. Obviously, you gotta lead. You gotta lead in some kind of statistical category of some sort. Yeah,
that's what we need to do. Have a real what is the criteria? Find out not even what
We've
you
done
consider.
That countless times.
No, I mean not no graph or any like something.
Some
like everybody can agree on. Like what can we agree on? Then you use that to make a. Because you could say the Jordan fans would say the scoring titles, and then LeBron's fans would say, well, what about the assist titles and stuff like that? So we gotta be.
I mean, you can count the scoring titles. Yeah, Jordan having the most scoring titles is GOAT debate material for Jordan fans. Nobody's taking that away from him.
No. He was one of the top 10 greatest scorers of all time. There's exactly 10.
He got 10. He got 10 scoring titles. Nobody has that. He has 11 in the playoffs, even though he got swept in 2 of them.
Well, I give him a pass for the first sweat, because a lot of people GOATs couldn't make the playoffs their second season. So
listen, in the chat, I get it. Listen, it's not.
It's messed up.
I get it. Like it's hard. Like I'm just saying. I'm not saying that LeBron doesn't get those bad takes his way, but when you respond with another bad take, instead of just being like, I'm ignoring you, and like going to a place where let's only talk basketball, those people will die off. Okay, those people launching bad takes at LeBron or any other player, if you don't respond to them, they will die off. They'll get bored.
Look,
and
you
we can
know
just
they
talk
don't
basketball.
remember the bad.
We're free
They
to talk
only
basketball.
remember the good.
But when you make it clear that they've gotten to your feelings and you respond, they're stoked. That's all they want. So don't do that. That's it.
I don't know. I kind of enjoy it's kind of entertaining me because now I'm starting to see, like watching videos, I'm starting to see these weird videos pop up on my timeline, and it be showing some about the basketball. No, don't go there about the GOAT debate, and it gives you an enlightened it gives you enlightened like how the other side feel. I get it. I get how LeBron fans feel. How from now on, these two players, you're never gonna have someone mention Jordan and someone's gonna not mention LeBron. It's gonna be vice versa because these are the two people that is basketball. These people is basketball.
Yeah, and one represents the old school style of basketball and what it represents, and supposedly LeBron represents today's NBA. Because whatever's bad with today's NBA, it's LeBron's fault, right?
Nah, no,
it's true, it is. And whatever's great about the back then is all predicated towards Michael Jordan. So that's just really it. Like the NBA before Jordan wasn't great, and the NBA after Jordan wasn't great.
False.
That's what they say. That's how it is. That's the argument.
That's exactly what they say.
These are idiots.
That's what Craig's talking about. Craig is talking about Jordan fans. No matter what, once LeBron's going to be mentioned, Jordan's going to be mentioned. Whenever Jordan's going to be mentioned, LeBron's going to be mentioned. They're tied.
I'm just saying we could be better. We could all be better.
We could all be better. All right,
we could all be better.
Let's let some GOAT James Kingdom members up.
Sure.
We'll let them up.
Again, I bet you they'll mention Jordan when they come up here.
I bet you I'm going to take some flack. I'm going to take some flack for going at LeBron. I believe you. They're not going to leave the lesson.
Whatever.
I mean, that was probably wasn't too bad. I mean, Jordan was a lot worse. I'm pretty sure what Jordan did.
I just gave you the numbers, bro.
I mean, what Jordan did was pretty bad, though. I didn't even know it. Like it was like wow.
He said I didn't even know it.
Wow.
Talk about it, just like the guy said in his post. Nobody mentions Jordan's bad performances. Nobody wants to talk about it.
I had no clue that Jordan was Harden before Harden. I never knew.
Ooh, Harden, damn.
Yes, you did, because when he was putting up them Harden numbers, he was still losing like Harden.
No, Harden was choking in the playoffs, and I didn't know Jordan did it worse. I didn't know Jordan was doing that.
No, he couldn't have done it worse. James Harden is a career playoff choker. Jordan is not a career playoff choker. He has playoff.
Well, that's because of Pippen. That's different. That's because of Pippen, though.
Okay, no.
That's because of Pippen. That's different. You can't give Jordan Pippen's credit now.
You can give whoever you want the credit.
That's what Pippen said. Pippen said y'all gotta stop that, man.
Let's say. Y'all better stop that lying. I'm the reason, Jordan. He said, I know Jordan team, Jordan maybe, but I'm definitely getting 6 because I'm just better. We saw it.
Who gonna stop me?
What we saw?
Who's gonna stop
that?
What?
He played with NBA. He played with Hakeem, Charles Barkley, Rasheed Wallace, Damon Stoudemire, Steve Smith. I could go on. What did he do with these players? What did he do with these players?
What up, Herm?
Those players won championships without him.
What up, Herm?
Herm, you see my takedown of LeBron? I know you saw that.
Salute to everybody. Hey, Craig, you can mention James Harden teammates, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook. You can mention Dwight Howard, Chris Paul.
I don't gotta mention he hasn't won anything. So at least Jordan has won something. So for him to say the James Harden of the playoffs, James Harden's a career playoff choker. Jordan just have moments.
Jordan has what? Moments. Jordan had years.
I mean, but he don't have a 2011 on his resume. He don't have a 2011 on his resume.
He got 19.
Yeah, worse.
He got 88. That's what he got.
89.
How
88
a
is worse.
player,
87, 86, 85, 84.
No. I'm gonna ask y'all this: how a player in his 4th year in the NBA has a worse choke job than a nigga that was in his 9th year in the NBA?
Because he was the league MVP, he was the league defensive player of the year, he was all NBA first team, all defensive first team, scoring champ, steals champ. Shall we continue? All-star champ, starter, all-star.
Do you want
MVP?
individual accolades or you want champion?
Okay,
He's asking me how. I don't know that.
He asked him how.
A player in his 4th year. I've never seen any player in their 4th year get that many accolades. He must be doing something.
And
I mean, he was from that particular year. But
LeBron
most
wasn't
young
none
players,
of that. LeBron wasn't none of that.
But guess what? We always seen in the NBA for the most part. We got a couple of anomalies, John. But besides that, most of the greats that played the game did not come at the gate winning. They came at the gate, had to go through their roadblocks, had to learn that, they had to learn the league, they had to make their adjustments, they had to understand their failures, and once they did, hey, they took off from there. So don't sit up there and be disingenuous to try to hold a 4th year player accountable for choking. And while you had a 9th year player that was favored and didn't get the job done. So you got to keep the same energy, man. If you can keep the same energy,
I can keep the same energy.
Which you talking about? Which your player you talking about?
I can keep the same energy. Bill Russell won a championship in his first year. Kareem won in his 2nd year. Magic won in his first year.
But Bill Russell
Bird
was
won
the
in
4th.
his 2nd year.
But Bill Russell was the 4th best player on his team in 57.
No, what?
Bill Russell was the MVP. I mean, come on now. Come on. You got to do better than that. You have to do better than that.
Let's start this. Let's start this.
Bob Cousy was MVP.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Let's do this. West made the finals within the first 4 years. Wilt made the finals within his first 4 years. Willis Reed made the finals within his first 4 years because he won a championship in his 4th or 5th year.
You want another coincidence in those things? Those are major markets.
I'm not done.
And they had the best.
Dr. J made the finals his first year in the NBA. Let's see. Let's continue here. Shaq made the finals in his 4th year in the NBA. Kobe made the finals in his 4th or 5th year in the NBA. Let's see here. Dwayne Wade made the finals and won a championship within 3 years in the NBA. LeBron made the finals within 4 years of the NBA. It sounds like only Michael Jordan. Shit, Scottie Pippen made the finals 4 years in the NBA and won a championship. I mean, you keep saying that nobody did it. Jordan did it. Jordan just ain't do it.
You want to know the coincidence with all those players? They had all-time great players and all-time great teams, too.
So did Jordan, man. Jordan sucked.
The Bill Russell Celtics was squadded, was stacked. The Willis Reed Knicks was squadded and stacked. Jerry West Lakers were squadded and stacked. Those franchises back then was heavily enriched with talent, was the most talented teams in the league. So you telling me the Chicago Bulls, a very young team, the whole team was basically young at 88.
Same thing with the Knicks. You're talking about Bradley and all the Knicks players.
Oh, yeah, Walt, but they were
all
talented.
Young. Walt got drafted in 67?
But they was very
drafted 67.
But see, this what you don't get. This what you don't get. Those major markets back in the day always had the talent. They always was stacked, bro.
So the Jordan had 5 players that were top 10 picks on his team on 1988, including him. Outside of him.
So now
that's
you
what
go
I'm saying.
out.
He got he got a good team.
So now you go out draft picks. If that's the case,
why not? Why not?
If that the case,
those are all good players. Wait, hold on, wait. They picked. Hold on, no, because you say, hold on, wait. They picked Charles Oakley. They picked up Brad Sellers. Oh, they picked up Brad Sellers, right?
You mentioned that.
They picked up Scott. They picked up Scottie Pippen. They picked up Horace Grant. Right? They already had Michael Jordan. So that's 5 guys right there that are top 10 picks.
Come on.
Keep going then. So in 2007.
Oh wait, John Paxson was a first-round pick, early pick. He wasn't a top 10 pick, but he was top 15. That's a good team. He had Orlando Woolridge.
All right. So why you?
He had George Gervin. He had George Gervin. They had Artis Gilmore. I mean, he had players.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. Though, they gave him something. He at least get to the finals. We didn't say win a championship, but get to the finals. Do something.
So at least get to the finals.
Hey, Herm.
That's crazy.
Wait, hold on.
You gotta do some research. I'm talking on top of my phone.
Okay, Herm. Do you know what Jordan averaged in 85? I mean, in 88, do you know what he averaged in 88 for the season?
That's not the point. I'm gonna respond to A. John, and
That
then
is
I get to your point.
that has a lot to do with
Then I get
what
to
he
your
did in the
point
season.
because see, you don't want me to respond to A. John because LeBron
Oh,
James in
go ahead.
2007 had first round picks like Big Z. Had first round picks like Darius Miles, not Darius Miles, but he had who was on that 2007? Carlos Boozer was a great.
No, he wasn't.
Great pick.
Carlos Boozer was
great
not
pick.
on 07. Carlos Boozer was not on that team.
No, that was
that Cavaliers
Drew
team.
Gooden.
That Cavaliers team did not have.
Now Drew Gooden. Drew Gooden was a first round pick. Big Z.
No, I said top 10. I said top 10. Herm, give me a top 10 picks. Give me top 10 picks. I said top 10.
You didn't say. No. You just said first round pick.
No. I said they had 5 top 10 first round picks. That's what I said. They had 5 of them. 5.
And most of those guys at 88 was rookies.
No, only 2 of them were Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant. Jordan wasn't a rookie.
Okay.
Brad Sellers wasn't a rookie. Charles Oakley wasn't a rookie. Sam Vincent was on that team as well. I think Sam Vincent was picked like top 10 too, if I'm correct, if I look at that team as well.
Mm-hmm.
But El Gauskas was the 20th pick in his draft, right?
Still first round pick.
Danya. Oh no, everybody got first round pick. Danya Marshall was a top 10 pick. Danya Marshall was a top 10 pick. Okay. Let's go to Drew Gooden. Drew Gooden was also a top 10 pick.
You got Boobie Gibson, a first round pick.
Okay. All right. Larry
Boobie
Hughes
was a second
top
round
10 pick. Yeah, Larry Hughes was a top 10 pick, and LeBron's taking them to the finals. Now, let's see who else they got here. They got Eric Snow. Eric Snow was a second round pick. I know Varejao. Varejao was a second round pick.
I thought he was undrafted.
Let me see here. Let's go. Shannon Brown was a first round pick, but he was 25th. Again, LeBron James had 3 players that were top 10 picks, and look, he takes them to the finals.
He takes them or they take him?
Huh?
Boobie Gibson was the guy that closed out the Pistons game 6, man. You forget
Good job
about
for
that.
him. Good job.
Not an elimination game, though. It wasn't an elimination game, so if they would have lost, they would play another game.
But look,
I'm just saying that forever when y'all mentioned John Paxson in '93, when y'all mentioned Steve Kerr in '97, I say that same thing. If they miss and they lose, there's still a game to be played. But for some reason,
I don't think me and Johnny said that once.
Yes, yeah, you saying?
I don't think me and Johnny said that once.
About Kerr and Paxson, we don't talk about that kind of stuff, man. We don't listen, man. You're supposed to hit a shot.
We don't
That's
care
your
about
job.
that. He has teammates.
That's your job.
Guess what? I ain't seeing John Paxson hitting 30 in a game.
What you mean?
I ain't seeing
he scored a bunch of shots in game 5 when they won the first championship. He had a bunch of jumpers.
He was on the road in Detroit. Scored a 30-plus, had a 30-plus point game in a game 6. Boobie Gibson did that. Boobie.
I mean, what are you talking about? You're all over the place. Like, what's your point? Are your point that Jordan choked less than LeBron? Is that what you're trying to say?
Have a young player choke.
Dave Corsi.
Because LeBron didn't choke at 07. He just was a young player that had to learn. Still had some
learning. So you're saying Jordan didn't choke?
Not in his 4th year in the league, no.
Okay. Why is it because it was his 4th year, or because he just didn't choke?
When you young, bro, you gonna have bad moments. That don't make you a choker. Like LeBron did not choke in 2007. He was a young player. He got a team that wasn't even thought of to make it to the finals. He got them there, even though he performed horribly, even though he was only shooting 30-something% from the field. That's not a choke job. You a young player that was going against a very talented veteran team in the Spurs that was well coached, and some of those schemes a player in his 4th year not gonna truly understand. So I don't put that on LeBron James in 2007. He was in his 4th year in the league. He still had to learn. He still had to understand how to get through teams like the Spurs. Just like Jordan had to learn how to get through teams like the Celtics and the Pistons. Same thing, bro.
Okay, so when do you start choking? What age do you start choking? What age is this and year? Like, is there a certain?
I didn't bring up age not one time.
Okay, I'm just saying, is there a certain age or year you can start?
Hold on. Are you saying that LeBron James never underperformed or never took? Because Herm's being very correct right now. He's giving full credit to LeBron. He's saying exactly what's correct, which is that every player has, which is what I said. Every player has lowlights. What's your point?
I'm just trying to see where he said that he was too young to choke. So when is the age that you can start choking?
I didn't bring
That's all I
up.
want to
I
know.
didn't bring up age.
He just
I
said.
didn't bring up age.
He said he was learning, and every player had a
Okay,
learning.
all right, I understand. Like what? Okay. When he's young, he could not choke. What age can you start choking? That's all I want to know. What age can you start choking?
That's a terrible question.
I mean, he said he was too young to
I
choke.
can
So
see if
when
I
can he
brought up
choke?
age, but I never brought up age, BZ. So that's irrelevant what you're saying.
Yeah, and he wasn't favored. So I mean, how is it,
Johnny? You're on mute. You're on mute.
What season? All right. So what season then, Herm? What season then? If
What season can you start choking?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you this, and I want y'all guys to actually think on a BZ and A John.
Okay.
I know y'all gonna be full of shit.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
So what? Damn, Herm. I'm
ready. I'm ready. I'm learning stuff today. I'm learning stuff. I didn't know you had to be a certain age to choke. But come on, I'm ready.
I didn't bring up age. You just being
I know.
disingenuous to bring it up because that's what you want to bring up. But typically, you guys, most of the all-time greats that ever played the game, most of them. I mean, especially in the modern era, most of these guys really typically don't win, don't really take off till about their seventh or eighth year in the league. They typically go through their stumble blocks. Their franchises built the adequate teams to compete, and once they do that, once they get their experience, they take off from there and start winning championships, start dominating in their own way. Most of the superstars I ever think about, a la Stephen Curry, a la guys like I would say Kobe, but Kobe started out young. But I could say a guy like Shaquille O'Neal, because Shaquille O'Neal start taking off from basically his 8th year on, started winning championships and titles. So when you look in the modern era,
Jordan got old.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, Craig. That's true. That's 100% true. But most of the guys that you think about in the modern era really start winning between right after this 7th year, right at that 7th year or a little bit above it. Like LeBron, he started taking off his 9th year and then look back. Same thing, bro. You got to go through your roadblocks. You gotta understand what you need to do to win. You gotta understand what you need around you to win. And so that's heavily why LeBron James left Cleveland, because he understood what he needed around him to win. And he typically knew that what Cleveland had going on, he felt like they not gonna ever build an adequate roster for him to truly compete. He knew he could get through the East, but he knew if I gotta beat those top teams in the West, I gotta have the adequate talent to do it, and I didn't. So I mean, it's a lot of different factors, bro. And that's just the honest God truth.
You ain't reading this quote that's on the screen? Okay, it says only LeBron and Gibson and Z was drafted in 07. So the whole team is free agents. So the cast was doing their job trying to build him a championship team.
That's true, Craig. That's true too, though. That's true too, man.
That's not true. Y'all niggas is capping.
Hey, look, I'm reading what this guy just said.
But nobody want to live in Cleveland, Ohio. Nobody wants to live in Cleveland.
I don't know. It didn't take Pippen that long to realize winning. Pippen came in the league his second year as a starter and made it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Push it on.
Yeah.
So
I don't know about
balling
that.
out in an elimination game. I guess to me, when you're the MVP of the league and you're averaging 35, shooting 53%, and you're the defensive player of the year as well, and you dramatically underperform, I think that's called a choke job.
Not only that, versus a team that didn't have no all NBA player or no all defensive player on their roster.
So LeBron choked in 2010, feeling?
No.
So he choked in 2010 against the man.
He lost to a team that was better than the Detroit Pistons in '88. That's the point.
Oh, okay. So wait, LeBron didn't choke in 2010 as the MVP with home court advantage.
Go look at
shooting terribly.
6 games.
Go look at his numbers.
I did look at his numbers. I just give you his numbers. His numbers sucked, especially the last 3 games of the series.
I know when it mattered, LeBron balled out in an elimination game.
No,
He just didn't
simple
go
as
out.
fact,
He
LeBron got
yeah
more. LeBron got
yeah
more
he
league
he
MVPs
just
without
did he
championships than
just did
Jordan
go
did.
out
Do
and
we
not
want to sit
play.
here and use that
He just
as
did
a
go out
because he
and
won
not
the league?
play.
You know,
I'm just saying he
LeBron
just
has
did go
That's
more
what
out
I'm
and not
talking
seasons
about,
play.
as a league
Travis.
MVP
That's
with
what
no
I'm talking about,
championship than
Travis.
Jordan. Do you know
Yeah,
that?
Jordan went out and not played. He just said, "I'm not going to play. I don't want to go to the next
So
game."
you want to say he was league MVP? He did that 4 times
No,
when he
like
was
Brandon.
league MVP.
No,
He
like
won.
Brandon said, an elimination
Yeah, he
game.
just
In
yeah,
elimination game,
he just gave up.
2010, LeBron
He
James
gave
had
up.
20. LeBron had 27 points, 19 rebounds, and 10 assists.
Yeah.
He had a
Okay.
tri- he had a- he had
38%
a
shooting.
triple-double. No,
Right, but Jordan gave
Cool.
up.
Jordan gave up. Jordan scored
He
25
gave
points,
up.
didn't do nothing. He gave up. See, that's what I'm saying. He gave up. I got footage from that
That's what I'm
series.
Give up
saying.
and still took
You know
25
what I'm saying?
points.
LeBron is
Okay.
and again,
Couldn't do
and
that for
LeBron,
a
and
career.
again, LeBron James is playing with a team that has 2 all defensive players on their roster, who has an all NBA player on their roster, a better
Billy,
team. 3
LeBron,
All-Stars.
15 points in Game 5. 15 points on 21% shooting.
Yeah.
That's not
terrible.
choking?
That's
Fuck outta
terrible.
here.
That's one bad game. We're talking about
That's one bad
elimination.
game.
One bad game.
That's
He
a
had
bad
3 bad
game.
games in a row. You guys are idiots if you think that you can't admit to
didn't have
yourselves
three-
that he
he
played
didn't have-
poorly.
He didn't have 3 bad games in a row, Travis. That's not
Yes,
an
he did.
elimination game. That's not an elimination game,
Now
Travis.
they want
He got 3 bad games in a row. That's why they lost the goddamn series.
So
What are you
y'all
watching?
create
Travis.
categories for losses.
Again,
now?
yes,
Here
yes,
we
because
go.
yes, because
So y'all
Jordan is
create
facing a team.
categories
Because
for
Jordan's
losses.
not facing a team as
Jordan's-
good as Boston.
Here we
Jordan's the
go.
reason they lost. Jordan's the reason they
Yes,
lost.
he did. The
Jordan's the
86
reason they
Celtics-
lost.
Boston.
Jordan's the reason they lost.
Boston is why. Boston is why
86
LeBron
Celtics
lost.
is better than KG
No, they're
Celtics.
not. No,
Yes,
they're
they
not.
are.
No, they're
No.
not.
Yes,
The
they are.
2010 Boston is better than the 1988 Detroit Pistons.
No, they're not.
And what
Yes,
measurement?
they are. By
No, they're not.
everything, by accolades, achievement-wise, everything. What are y'all talking
It was
about?
achievement.
The 88.
They
Because
they
they
didn't-
was an
You
NBA
want
champion.
accolades or you want championships?
they win a
Pistons won a
championship.
championship.
They
What you
were a
talking about?
championship team. They were a
They didn't win a
championship
championship?
team.
Not the
They were a
Pistons.
They were a champion. The Pistons weren't a championship team. The Pistons were nobodies. They became somebody beating Jordan.
Nobody
They
is.
came somebody by beating Magic.
Yeah.
I tell
Then
you,
they won the championship.
I tell you right now, hey Johnny, the 2011 Dallas Mavericks would get smoked by the Shaq and Penny Orlando Magic. Would get
Cap,
smoked.
nigga, what the fuck is he talking about? What?
Yeah, the 2011
Like I was saying, Jordan was the reason they lost those series. Jordan was the reason that they lost those series.
Uh-huh.
He was the
Okay.
main reason that they lost those series.
Got it.
Yeah, LeBron was the reason why they lost in 2010. LeBron was the reason why they lost in 2011.
LeBron was the only one playing. LeBron was the only one playing.
Uh-huh.
Jordan gave up. Jordan
Yeah.
completely gave up.
Only one
Yeah,
playing.
LeBron
taking the
gave
most
up,
shots
too.
of 30% from the field. Yeah, you're right. He was the only one
Jordan
playing.
gave up.
Poorly.
But why y'all
See,
want
this
to
is
ignore?
ridiculous,
Why
B-Lee.
you want to, B-Lee? Why you just can't talk basketball, bro, and
Yeah.
ignore?
Why can't you just
and
talk basketball,
ignore the
B-Lee? Like, you're-
failures of your favorite player.
It's
Of
like
your-
whenever someone says, hey, he didn't play well in this game, you're like, no. There's like a million excuses for it. That's stupid. And he's the only one you apply that logic to. Just like those other casuals that I talk about in my segment. If you're not like comfortable enough for yourself as a fan to admit things about your favorite player, I give a fuck if it's LeBron, then you're not actually a fan of the game. You're just a fan of one player. That's it.
Yeah, because Brand,
I mean, you guys would say Jordan choked anyways. Like if you didn't know this was Jordan numbers, you would say this player choked.
but
Since it's
B-Lee,
Jordan, you switch it up.
But B-Lee, Jordan
No.
averaged over 20 something against the Magic in '95. But guess what? Jordan had too many turnovers in that series against the Magic. Nick Anderson and them was making it difficult for Michael Jordan in '95. So
I'm
end of
not
the
even
day,
talking about that series.
end of the day,
I'm
with
talking
Jordan,
about 7 years in a row before.
I'm just giving you an example. Even though Jordan had some decent numbers, he still didn't play.
So you
up to
saying
his
choking
standards.
is when you lose
He
in the
still
playoffs
didn't
when
play
you don't win the
great.
championship.
He did
right?
not play great because
No.
he turned over the ball too much. So Jordan deserved criticism for his series against the Magic. That's why he came motivated. That's why he worked. That's why he put in the work in the summertime to make sure that he's ready for this top tier team in the Magic. Because at the end of the day, It's his fault that he decided to come back with 17 games left. It's his fault that he downplayed the competition that was in the league at the time to think that he could still come in and dominate. And guess what? He got his ass kicked for it. Jordan got his ass kicked for doing that, for underestimating his competition, thinking that shit was sweet and the Magic hit him in the goddamn mouth. See, but you ain't gonna admit that shit when it comes to LeBron James and his situations and his certain moments in his career. I just gave you a brief example.
I would acknowledge that. I would definitely acknowledge that. I would definitely acknowledge that. I would acknowledge it.
So do it.
Yeah,
okay.
okay. Let me explain it. Let me explain it. Okay, this is the reason why I said Jordan, like he choked in 1988. I'm gonna just say why.
You've already heard it all.
No. I'm gonna just tell you why, and I'm gonna compare it to LeBron. So I'm gonna tell you why, because 1988. They lost 3 straight games, right? We all know that. During the regular season, Michael Jordan averaged 35 points per game, 53% shooting, and 84% at the free throw line. And when he got to the Pistons, he lost 3 straight games in a row. And those 3 straight games knocked him out the playoffs because Michael Jordan averaged 24 points per game, shooting 45% from the field and 72% from free throw line with 4 turnovers. He dramatically underperformed. All right,
Okay.
so let's just say, of the last game, just, you have to, put out your best effort to win. The last 5 minutes of the game, Michael Jordan didn't even score a point. And it was a close game. It was 83 to 82. The last 5 games, he didn't even score. It just seems like Michael Jordan didn't really care about winning at that point. We could go to LeBron in 2008, which you guys said that he played terrible for 3 straight games. Yeah, he played terrible for 3 straight games.
We talk about 2010.
Okay. We could go to the 2010. My bad, 2010. You say he played terrible, but that last game he balled out because he didn't want to lose. He made sure that he played better than every single player on that court. 27 points, 19 rebounds, 10 assists. He had 3 steals and 2 blocks. He balled out. He didn't want to lose that game. When you actually go to Jordan, Jordan looked like he just didn't want to play. He looked like he just didn't want to play. And then when we go back to 1989, he did the exact same thing. Act like he didn't want to play. The last 3 games they lost.
Travis, I guess he don't know how to talk the game, man.
Yeah, he averaged 24.
So basically, what you're saying is no matter how hard LeBron plays, his team's still going to lose. 4 turnovers. And if Jordan plays bad, his team's going to lose.
Why you didn't break up the turnovers for LeBron James? Why you didn't break up the turnovers for LeBron James?
You're being super disingenuous, Billy, because you're saying these are things that no one's. These are saying things because Herb and I are not saying these didn't happen. We're just saying keep that same energy for every other player we talk about, including LeBron. And you're making excuses for LeBron.
What excuse did I make for LeBron?
Because you said, oh, his last game, you picked up 1 game that he played that he had great stats in, but you didn't. He shot 38% from the field that game, and those last 3 games, he was abysmal. That's the direct reason why they lost the series. Okay, because they were leading that series with home court advantage, and he was the MVP. And then he played like shit the rest of the 3 games. But again, it happens for every player. Why do we always have to be like, oh? Look what Jordan did in these certain closet games in the 80s. We understand this. It's not something we're denying and saying didn't happen. We're not doing revisionist history. Every player, it's exactly what I said. Every player has lowlights.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to state it again. Michael Jordan underperformed more than LeBron. I'm gonna state it again.
According to what?
According to the stats. To the games.
So
Michael Jordan has better stats in closeout games than LeBron James.
I hope you realize.
Not in real life.
I hope you
not in real life. Not in NBA stats.
Look up stats for closeout games.
I hope you realize, BZ. I hope you realize, BZ, man, that when you look at a lot of those games, LeBron James had a whole bunch of turnovers, something that you don't like to highlight. Despite of LeBron James,
you think the guy with the most turnovers in history is not going to have a turnover or something?
Yeah, he don't never talk about turnovers.
Okay, yeah, because I did talk about turnovers and the elimination game in 1989 when he had 8 turnovers.
But you ain't talked about
5 for 12 free throws, shot 26 times, and he had 32 points.
Can you talk
Yeah.
about LeBron
And
James?
get outplayed.
I want you to cook LeBron James. I could cook Michael Jordan. I could, if you want me to break down something, I could break it down better than you. But can
Then
you
do
break
that.
down,
Cook
can you break
MJ.
down,
Stop
Michael
cooking
Jordan.
Braun
I
every
don't
day.
need to. I already told you
can
how
you
Michael
break down
Jordan
LeBron
underperformed.
James failures
Michael
and be
Jordan was a
honest
James
about it?
Harden before James Harden. He underperformed
Can you be honest
more than
about LeBron
anybody.
James failures? Can you be
JR
honest
is
about
so
LeBron
damn
James
What
sensitive.
failures? What failures? What failures?
You
Go
start
on.
talking about
Which
Jordan's
ones?
failures, y'all get emotional as fuck.
Yeah.
Nobody,
Which
nah, cause
failures?
I could talk about them with you, but can you talk about LeBron failures? That's all
Y'all
I'm
talk
asking
about
you.
Which
Bron's
ones?
failures every
Which ones?
fucking day.
Like
He
I
can't even
never
do a
said.
dunk
No,
without
I
y'all
never
bringing up
said
some
talk
shit
about
LeBron
from
LeBron
15
did not
years
failures.
finish.
ago.
What the fuck you
Yeah,
talking?
I'm just saying Jordan
Let's talk
did
about
more.
LeBron
He
failures. We can
underperformed
talk
more than
about
LeBron.
Jordan failures more than
Yeah,
anything.
he underperformed more than LeBron. But I want to hear about these failures from LeBron James. Go.
I'm laughing because y'all don't
I'm
keep the
ready.
same energy,
No,
bro.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm seriously ready for this.
So damn
So,
sensitive, bro.
so wait,
Nah,
No, I'm
that's
ready.
your bitch ass.
no,
That's
so wait, so let's do this. So let's
All
do
right,
this.
come on. No, I'm ready for
no,
these
no, let's do this.
LeBron
So let's do
failures.
this. Let's do this. Jordan, right, was averaging 36 points per game in the playoffs. It went down to 23 and a half
it
during
never
that
gets
span.
old, don't it, Craig and
It's
Trav?
that's 12 point difference. That's a 12-point difference for Michael Jordan. His assists are down, his rebounds are up, his steals went up, his turnovers went up, his blocks went down. His field goal percentage went down. Right? The shot that he took went down. His minutes didn't even were even I guess were about the same. But LeBron James, under the same circumstance, he went from averaging 29 to 21 in those same 3 games, so that's an 8-point difference. LeBron James assists are up. LeBron James rebounds are up. LeBron James blocks, I think, were the same, if I'm correct. I think his blocks went down just a little bit because LeBron never averaged more than like a block per game. This is a half a block. His turnovers did go up, like y'all said. LeBron James turnovers did go up. His field goal percentage did go down. He shot horrible in these 3 games. And then he also had steals. He had 2 steals per game. So I think which is what he was averaging for that season as well. So LeBron James didn't underperform as much as Jordan did.
It was about the same.
Yeah, Jordan underperformed more. He underperformed more.
No, it was the same. It wasn't more or less. It was the same.
Wait, Jordan was averaging 35 and went to 23. LeBron was averaging 29 and went to 21. Jordan's assists went down. Jordan's steals, blocks went down. His turnovers went up. LeBron's assists went up. That's what I'm saying. LeBron's assists went up. It's like that. Like LeBron played better elsewhere as well, but Jordan across the board was playing bad. And at the end of the day, like I said, Jordan was playing against a team that wasn't like the Boston of 2010.
Man, the bad boy Pistons were just as good, but we ain't doing that.
We're not saying that. See, don't call them the bad boy Pistons
just
because
as good, if not better. We ain't doing
the
that.
1988 Pistons were never called bad boys. They were not called the. They were not.
Was still good though.
They were not bad boys then. They were not the bad boy
That
Pistons.
team was still good.
Not better than Boston. They didn't have the steals leader. They didn't have the guy leading the league in steals like Boston had.
Are we like
I'm glad you
like
mentioned
season
that.
They didn't have an
All
all-NBA player. They didn't have an
like
all-NBA.
seasonal
all
titles
defensive
now?
players. But that matters. Of course it matters. So what not? We always says it matters. It does matter. But y'all get mad when we tell you Jordan don't have the most seasonal titles. You get mad when we tell you that.
Did the Pistons make it to 3 straight finals though?
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they beat Jordan 3 straight times. Because they beat Jordan 3 straight times.
They had to beat more than Jordan. They had to beat more than Jordan.
They beat Jordan. If Jordan doesn't choke against them, they don't make it. Exactly. If Jordan performs like he's expected to and why the Bulls were so great, then they win, and there's no Detroit bad boy Pistons, nothing.
Did the 2010 did those Celtics, did that 2010 Celtics team that you're talking about make it to 3 straight finals?
No. They made the 2 though. Made the 2 though.
They made 2 out of 3 finals.
Yeah.
Okay.
They had 3 All-Stars. The Detroit Pistons had 1 All-Star.
Now, but how can you measure? How can you measure how a team is greater other than their success as a team?
I mean, we can't, but we can measure how Michael Jordan underperformed.
You can't always go off.
I'm going off of how good the players on their team are compared to the players in the league. And so Boston had the one. Wait, Herm. Wait. Boston had more better teams, more better players on their team that was in the league than the Detroit Pistons had.
You can't measure
I
it
can.
like
If
that.
they have an all defensive player and 3 all-stars, and that Detroit team doesn't, that means that's what they have. They don't have that.
Like that
that's how you have to measure it. Because how are we not going to measure it that way when they have, obviously, if they have 3 all-stars, that means they have 3 better
Final
players.
appearances don't matter then, huh?
You don't make it to the finals until you start winning. We're talking about how the season was. For the 82-game season, the Detroit Pistons had 1 all-star, no all-NBA player, no all-defensive player on their roster. They had 1 guy who could average 20 points per game. The 2010 Boston Celtics, the 2010 Boston Celtics had 3 all-stars, which from what I understand makes you a super team, right? And on top of that, had an all-defensive player who was the league leader in steals.
But they didn't go to the finals, though.
Cool. And so 2010
they did go to the. They did make the finals. They lost to Kobe
in 09.
I said 2010.
The Magic made it in 09.
In 2010, they made the finals.
The Magic, but hold on, wait a minute, Adrian.
Wait, and they made the finals beating LeBron because that was in the Eastern Conference Finals.
The Magic,
but Johnny, you keep talking about the Boston Celtics, the Boston Celtics. That's what you keep telling us. But LeBron also lost to the Magic too.
We're not talking about the
Dwight Howard led Magic.
Yeah, but that's not what they're bringing up. They're not because LeBron didn't choke 3 straight games against Magic. He didn't choke 3 straight games. They didn't lose 3 straight games against the Magic. LeBron James averaged almost 40 points per game against the Magic.
But hey, Johnny, y'all bringing up most of the conversation.
It's still lost though. It doesn't matter how many he averaged. You still lost. Jordan scored 63 points against Boston and still lost. Y'all still criticizing for that.
No, we criticize him for going out there and fouling out of a game.
No, bro, y'all still criticize Jordan for scoring 63 points against Boston and he's still losing. Y'all still count that.
No. We didn't mention that.
Y'all do still count that because y'all say he never beat Bird.
Jester, we never mentioned that here. Stop making an argument we never made. No, Brandon never mentioned the 63-point game. He never mentioned that. Stop bringing up stuff we never mentioned. Stop lying. We're not talking about just them losing. We're talking about the reason why the team lost. They're trying to say LeBron James choked for 3 straight games in 2010. They didn't bring up 2009 because 2009, that didn't happen. They think the 3 games LeBron James choked versus Boston is the same thing to Jordan's, and we're proving that it's not.
Yes, he did, because after he did that, he went to another team.
And for one, in 1986, what we said was Jordan was the 3rd leading scorer on his team. He fouled out, and Danny Ainge outplayed him, and he had to win that game to keep moving on, to keep playing in the playoffs, and he just decided to not play.
Well, at least he came back to the same team.
At least he came back to the same team.
Well, the 2010 Celtics were.
Well, and in 1989, Michael Jordan demanded a trade.
2010 Celtics were top 5 in defense.
You talking about 88? You talking about 89?
That was after he lost. And by the time what you want, Craig?
He did the exact same thing.
He's 2 months into the season and was like, "Yo, I want to get traded." So go ahead, Travis.
2010 Celtics were top 5 in defense and number 20 overall, number 19 overall in offensive ranking. 1988 Pistons were top 3 in defense and number 8 in total offense. So they were objectively better than that team.
With 3 All-Stars.
Well, there you go.
Again, the 1988 Detroit Pistons are in the 23-team league, and using those metrics, they're not playing the same competition. They're not. I never use those metrics. You can't use that. What they're averaging in a season does not mean nothing. They're playing in different eras.
Yeah. Go, James. Hey, Johnny. That's how y'all go off of his stats, but now the stats don't matter.
No.
That's how y'all go off of his stats, but now the stats don't matter.
No. The team stats. Are you going to say? So what you're trying to say is that the Detroit Pistons are a better team because they average more points than the Boston Celtics did? Is that what you're saying?
Suppose their rankings are better. That's what y'all go off of a lot of the time.
No, that's what we go by a lot of the time. Who says we go by that? I told you I don't go by that. Nobody told you whoever goes by that.
He goes by the All-Stars.
All right. How about this? How about this? Travis, how about this, Travis? Who had the better defensive net rating or the defensive net rating for the season? Who had the better net rating? Boston or Detroit in 1988 Boston and 1988 Detroit and 2010 Boston.
The total net rating was 88. I'm sorry, 88 Pistons had a better one. It was 3rd of 23, so plus 5.2. Boston had 4. They were 9th of 30, so we're top 10.
Okay, so the Detroit Pistons had a better net rating at 5.2. They were third out of 23, and that's the net rating, right? And Boston was actually ninth at +4. Boston was fifth in points per game, and they were 19th in offense. They were fifth in points and defensive points per game, and they were 19th in offensive points per game. Detroit was 8th in points per game and 3rd in defensive points per game. So you want to say that means the Detroit Pistons were the better team?
What I'm saying is that if you're talking about, if you're just randomly saying a team was better because of their roster, and these numbers are,
I'm going
better.
off of the players. I'm going off the players off their team. The Chicago Bulls.
That doesn't mean anything. It's all about production.
The Chicago Bulls was first in defense in 1988. The Cleveland Cavaliers were 6th in defense. So the Bulls had a better defense than the Cavaliers had. The Cavaliers were 10th in offense, and the Bulls were 19th in offense. This is why this is so stupid. The Bulls actually averaged more points per game than the Cavaliers, but they were 19th in offense.
So you finally see flaw in stats, man.
No, I don't use those. I'm not using. These are the stats y'all brought up. I brought up the players on the team. I'm talking about how good the team is. I'm talking about how good the team is. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you can't compare team ranking for that year's NBA across.
They're playing different eras. There's 30 teams. We're talking about a 30-team league to a 23-team league.
Even the standing league. You can look at the NBA. It was completely different.
So if y'all saying you can't compare team, you can't compare stats, across eras. If you can't compare team, so why did Johnny say that the 2010 Boston Celtics was better than
team rankings?
Because
in 1988 there were 11 teams.
Nah, but
in
you can't
2010 there were
15. You can't pick and choose.
So what are we talking about?
Stats, though. You can't pick and choose when to use stats. That's why
we didn't choose to use them dumbass stats. Nigga, that was y'all.
You are using.
Oh wait, you
are using. You guys are using team stats.
Nah, nigga, stop the bullshit.
Travis is trying to use.
So
Travis is trying to. I didn't use team stats. I said all
NBA
All-Star
selection. Travis.
That's what I said. I said.
Nigga.
Listen, hey, I said All-Star selections, all NBA team. That's what I brought. All NBA team. That's what I brought. That's what I've always said about those teams. That's what I mean.
But Johnny, teams win games, not just the individuals.
That's
teams win games. So if you're going by an entire team, you have to bring up that team's ranking. Not just all NBA. A team don't get all NBA.
Mango Jester, what is a better team? A team that has 3 All-Stars and an All-NBA player, or a team with 1 All-Star?
Hey, Johnny, that don't even make sense what you just said. A team don't get All-Star appearances. A team don't get all NBA. If you saying the Boston Celtics is better than the Detroit Pistons, you have to use team rankings, not individual rankings. That don't even make sense.
You can't use team ranking because they're not ranked in the same era. They're not in the same era. No, it's no calm down. Answer my question. If I told you had a team that had 3 All-Stars on it and an all-defensive player on it, if you were a coach and I told you were going to have a team with 3 All-Stars on it and an all-defensive player on the team, are you going to pick that team over the team that has only 1 All-Star on it?
What does the stats say?
No.
What does the stats say?
Hold on, man. This is what I want.
Everyone's the most talented team. But
this is what I want to bring up to A. Johnny, though. The reason I don't like to use that because you got shit like the 2011 Mavericks. They only had 1 All-Star. So they not a good team because they only had 1 All-Star?
No, because they had an All-NBA player and an All-Defensive player.
Now you want...
Now, when have I excluded All-NBA, All-Defensive team? Never! You get mad because these teams have that. And Jordan choked versus a team that didn't have that. LeBron never lost to a team that had no All-NBA player or no All-Defensive player on their roster. Never. Both he and Jordan faced 8 teams under the same circumstances, and Jordan lost.
Hey, John.
Wild joke.
This is sad, man.
You can't.
Yeah, the excuses flow freely here.
This is sad.
You can't measure teams like that, bro. Like,
why? It doesn't fit your narrative because it doesn't fit your narrative. It doesn't help you.
How you rank teams is weird.
Show me again.
How you use individual accolades for a team?
Show me. Oh wait. Show me a team in NBA. Show me a team. Show me a team in NBA history that had 3 All-Stars wasn't a good team.
Oh, Lord.
The Houston Rockets.
Atlanta Hawks.
The Houston Rockets.
The Brooklyn Nets.
So how we're measuring a good team is not by wins and defensive and offensive ratings?
The Houston Rockets lost to Stockton and Malone.
You can't compare. I can't compare wins. They're not playing against the same competition, Travis. You can't compare wins.
Put Houston at them.
A 60-win team in 1980s. But that doesn't work with all NBA and all defensive selections. That means you're still one of the best players in the league. That's what the whole point.
The 97 Rockets.
That's the point.
The 97 Rockets will tell you everything you need to know.
So wait. So let's say that there was a team in 1988, right? They had, and I'll do some research on this one. Let's say there was a team in 2010, right? That had 4 All-Stars on it. Okay, but they had less wins than the 2010 Celtics. They were worse offensively and defensively, but they had 4 All-Stars. Would you say they were automatically better than that Celtics team who just overperformed?
Travis, there were 9 teams in NBA history that has 4 All-Stars on them.
Answer the question.
None of those teams suck. None of those teams suck because you're bringing up a hypothetical that didn't matter. There's 9. Go to the 9 teams that have. Go to the 9 teams.
Answer the question though.
Because it doesn't. It's hypothetical.
Hypothetical.
It's a hypothetical. He's making. No, he's not. I want to talk reality. I want to talk in reality. I can show you.
Hey, Johnny, name the 9 teams. Then name the 9 teams. Name the 9 teams.
Bring them up. Hold on, wait. I'm gonna bring them up right now. Let me go find them for y'all. I'm gonna bring y'all the 9 teams.
Point, Travis.
It was a good point, but you know you weren't going to answer that.
Playing time machine basketball.
Travis, ask the question again so I can make sure I'm gonna answer it because y'all always think I can't answer questions.
This applies to the 88. This applies to the 88 Pistons too, because you're saying just because they didn't have these players who were like winning criteria awards or like individual accolades, that their overall rankings and results don't matter compared to another team who underperformed relative to their own era, but because they had the better name brand players right on their team. That's exactly what you said.
No, I'm telling you that if you're making the All-NBA and the All-Defensive team and the All-Star team, you're one of the best players in the league.
Which are voted.
I know
it doesn't matter. You're still one of the best players in the league. You're still one of the best players. You're still one of the best players in the league. And if you have several of those type of players on your team, that must make you a good team. I don't understand how that doesn't. I don't understand how that doesn't make you at least a good team. That's why I don't understand.
Who's disagreeing with you on that?
You are.
No, I'm not.
You are. Yeah, because I'm telling you they're better than the other team. If that makes you good.
You said they were better than the other team, but again,
yes, they're
relative
better.
to the era, that doesn't measure up. You're just saying that.
Why does it say better to the other? So tell me what kept Detroit from having 3 All-Stars?
What? The voters.
No, they didn't have 3 All-Stars on their team. There was nobody on their team worth making an All-Star but Isaiah Thomas. That's why.
Joe Dumars could have made it.
No, for what? Averaging 13 points per game? Why?
He could have easily made it.
Why?
I mean, so
why?
It doesn't matter if you're an All-Star or not. It's about the team success.
Why? Here we go. 4 teams that won had that. The 9 teams that had 4 All-Stars on it. The Warriors champions. The 2015 Hawks won 60 games. The 2011 Boston Celtics, another good team. The 2006 Pistons, another good team. The 1998 Lakers, another good team. The 83 76ers, a good team. The 75 Celtics, a good team. The 62 Celtics, good teams. All of these teams that have 4 All-Stars them are good teams.
But did you really? Hey, Johnny, did you really believe that the Atlanta Hawks was a really good team? Did you really believe that?
They won 60 games, Travis.
It doesn't matter. Did you really believe it was a good team?
Yes.
Like in your heart of hearts, did you believe that was a good team?
Yes, they were. How can they not be a good team? They won 60 games.
Okay. That's all I want to know. Okay.
Why? Why not?
If you disagree, then you're a casual. They can't win 60 games by being a bad team.
Bro, teams win 60 games all the time. That's what makes them a good team just because they win 60 games.
If you want to say they aren't,
the Utah Jazz won 60-something games and they lost like bad.
They were still a good team.
Teams win 60 games all the time.
All of these teams did not win. Doesn't mean they're not good. Just because you didn't win, it doesn't mean you're not good. That's the whole point. Detroit didn't win.
I'm glad y'all said. Hold on.
Oh wait, Detroit didn't win in '88, so they're not good. But y'all want to complain how good they are?
Hold on. So I'm glad y'all said that. So y'all saying that teams winning 60 games is good teams. Okay.
Yes,
so LeBron James teams in 2009 and 10 won 60+ games in 2 back-to-back seasons, but y'all say his roster was garbage, right?
They weren't built for the playoffs. We agree with that.
No, don't change it. Don't change it. Keep it just like it is. What y'all was doing? Keep it just like it is. Y'all told me that if you win 60+ games, you're a good team. So LeBron James team in back-to-back years won 60.
Again, the Cavaliers who won 66 games were a good team. The Cavaliers who won 61 games were a good team. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all that's what y'all want to go by. But I said the Hawks also had 4 All-Stars. How many All-Stars did those Cavaliers teams have? How many All-NBA players did those teams have? That's why we have to go by the players, not by the records. Because they're not playing in the same league, in the same competition. The Cavaliers of 2009 did not play the same teams that the 2015 Hawks played. They're not playing. You can't use that. It's a silly connotation. You guys keep trying to use team stats when you can't use team stats to compare eras.
Only for players, though.
Saying that if you win 60-something games, you're a good team. But now you're saying that if you win 60-something games, you're not a good team? That's what you're telling me?
I did told you the Cavaliers were a good team. They won 60 games. How can you not be a good team? You think they had to be good enough to win a championship? They were just good enough to win 60 games, just like the Hawks won 60 games and didn't win a championship.
The 94 Bulls is up there. Where's the?
There's a lot of teams who won 60 games that didn't win championships, ladies and gentlemen. A lot.
And that's my point.
So,
you make my point.
But they're still good teams. They're still good teams.
So you actually a good team if you don't win a championship, or you just a good team just because you're a regular season good team? That what you're saying?
You're a good team if you win 60 games. That's a lot of games to win.
A good team don't make you a championship team.
But hey,
John, like just because you're a good team don't mean you win a championship.
But you don't measure how good a team is just off of because you want to break down individuals. So that's why I think the line get crossed there, because like end of the day, if I bring up a 2011 Dallas team, yes, you bring up a guy with all defensive selection, but the Mavericks only got true indeed one superstar on that whole roster, and they still was manageable.
Who's using superstar as a criteria, Herm? I didn't say nothing about superstar.
Nah,
I don't know what criteria you're using.
I just bring it up.
How many superstars on 1988 Detroit Pistons?
One.
How many superstars How many superstars on 2010 Boston?
Maybe 2.
Three.
No, like 2. Not
Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce are superstars.
They was not superstars then, Johnny. Come on, bro. You know that. At that point, they was not superstars. They might have been all-stars, but they wasn't superstars. They wasn't superstars now.
No matter what you say, no matter what category y'all keep throwing on these teams and these players, the Detroit Pistons had less. That's the point.
It doesn't matter. They were a better team, objectively.
How? Based on what?
By the stats, they was a better team. Perfect just said it.
You're ignoring results.
No, they're not. They're not. What results?
I mean, hey, Johnny,
what results am I ignoring?
What I just said, the Boston Celtics were like a bottom 10 offense that year, and they were objectively worse defensively for their era. The 88, which is all that matters. 88 Pistons were one of the top 5 teams of their era of that year.
Okay, wait. No. Detroit Pistons gave up 10 more points. So that means Boston had a better defense than Detroit Pistons did. Jordan choked against a team that gave up over 100 points per game.
You can't compare eras, right?
But that's what I'm using that exactly, showing your point about how stupid that is. You're proving my point. Yes, I can't use Boston's 95 points per game to be better than Detroit's 104 per game. That's the point. That's the point. What is it? What you want to use? You want to use that they're the third ranked defense because they gave up 104 points per game. They gave up 104 points per game.
So
that's how much Detroit Pistons
we weren't talking about era. Listen, if we weren't talking about eras, right, and we just sat down and said, okay, here, Tony, this team was exceeded in like these metrics or whatever. They were top 5 in these metrics in this year or this era or whatever. This team was not as good in there. You would say, you know what? I'll take that team because of a confluence of things. I bet they had better players on paper. I don't care that they were less dominant than that team. I'm going to take the team that had better players who I judge on their roster. That's all you're saying.
Hey, Travis, let me ask you a question.
If you have 3 All-Stars, you're a good team.
Which team would you take? Which team would you take in a playoff series? The 2010 Boston or the 1988 Pistons? Which team would you take?
Why would they play each other?
Which team would you take?
I think that's honestly.
Yeah, which team would you take?
Not to be disrespectful, I think that's a
terrible question. I mean, I'm probably taking the 2000. I mean, I mean, I might take the 88 Pistons. I'm gonna look at the roster, man. They had
why would you take the 88 Pistons?
Because I think they were a little bit more flexible offensively. I mean, they had Dantley, they had Isaiah Thomas, they had again they had a prime Dennis Rodman, they had Johnson. I think they were a little bit better. I think the 2010 Celtics were a little bit better up on the front court, but I think Kevin Garnett's best years were behind him. I think that Rondo was obviously prime, but it's like you're asking teams like who would win head up versus teams like we know what the results of those years were, right? Okay, they both lost in the finals. Okay, and so you're like if you're asking which one would win head up, it's like super distant. Like those Pistons had what 8 players in double figures.
It's just simple. Which team would you take? You say you would take the Pistons. Okay, Herm, which team would you take? Which team would you take, Herm?
Me understanding, I'd take the Pistons. Because it's not always about trying to be league and be league.
All right, okay.
Nah,
I understand. You take Pistons. I understand.
Hold on though, because I want to kind of get you and A. Johnny back in the fold with this question though. We got a team in 2004 that didn't have no All-Star. They was the NBA champs. So do you guys believe that the Pistons are not a good team because they didn't have All-Star?
That's a good question.
That's not a great question. How many All NBA All Defensive players they had on their roster, sir? Don't just go to All Stars. I told you a team with 3 All Stars is good. Name me the team that had no All NBA players, no All Defensive players on their roster, and 1 All Star and was considered a good team. Please, ladies and gentlemen, besides the 88 Pistons, I would love for y'all to keep showing me all these teams that are that great without having any of this. Please continue to show me this.
What?
A team that had no All NBA player on their roster, no All Defensive player on their roster, and only 1 All Star. That was considered a good team. A good team. Because again, all these teams that got 3 All Stars are all considered good teams.
And you're debating that with yourself. No one's like, what's your point even?
That means the 2010 Boston's better than 1988 Celtics Pistons. That's what I'm saying.
Not in real life, as Brandon would say. Not in real life.
That's what I'm telling you. Yes.
Not relative to their own era. Like that's all that matters. How dominant they were. How dominant they were in their own league. That's the only thing that matters. The 88 Pistons were more dominant than the 2010 Celtics.
No, they were not. They were not more dominant. How were they more dominant?
Yes, they were.
Yeah. How were they more dominant?
How were they more dominant?
I'm gonna answer this question.
In every way.
No.
For their time, they were better offensively. For their time, they were better offensively, defensively.
Hey, Trey, I'm going to answer his question.
And had more wins.
I'm going to answer his question. Hey, Johnny, I hope you realize the 2004 Pistons only All-NBA player that year was Ben Wallace. He was on All-NBA second team. That was the only player. So you telling me...
That's an All-NBA player.
I'm just saying so you telling me Ben Wallace was the best player on the Pistons team because he was the only All-NBA player on that roster?
No, and Ben Wallace made the All-Defensive team as well. What are you talking
No,
about?
but I'm just saying, you telling me that Ben Wallace is the best player on the 04 Pistons because he's the only player on that roster that particular year that was All-NBA and All-Defense. That was the only player on that roster.
That makes him that whole everything that they did was predicated off of him. That's what y'all talking about. Yes. What are y'all talking about? Yes. Okay. I'm not going off of no points per game. Who's the most effective guy on that court? The most impactful and effective guy is Ben Wallace. Ben Wallace is the best player on that team. What's wrong with you? Yes. Ben Wallace.
All right. And then Travis. Okay, Travis, you're trying to say that the regular season matters more because of what they did in the regular season. Because you said they had this much more wins and all this. It doesn't matter once you get to the playoffs and you have your team, right?
Never said that at all.
That's why you said the Pistons was better than Boston because of what they did in the regular season.
They were more dominant. You said they
were more dominant. So when you're talking about, you're about to try to use some like bullshit playoff argument to like to debunk that.
No, that's what you're saying. Okay, go. Why can't I? Yeah. Go tell me.
Because what I'm saying is like when you set these teams down and like you stack it up at the end of the season, all right, and like going into these playoffs, why would you favor a team that vastly underperformed versus a team that was far better in a lot of metrics? Not even just talking about the 2010 Celtics. I'm talking about every team. Are you going to take a team that won like 38 games that year because maybe they had some better name brand players and say they were better than the 88 Celtics that same year? You wouldn't do that. Why are you trying to do it with the 2010 Celtics?
So I'm trying to say that teams get ready for the playoffs, but they don't have to perform the best in the regular season. Just because they perform, just like the Suns. The Suns was not always the best team in the league just because they performed well in the regular season. Yeah.
You play for seeding, you play for ranking, you play for all this stuff.
Seeding is not needed sometimes.
So you're saying regular season
seeding. Yeah, Boston did not need the number one seed. Boston Celtics did not need the number one seed to be dominant in the playoffs. That's what I'm saying.
Nobody's saying they did. You're just saying.
But you're basing your narrative off the regular season. That's what I'm saying.
I'm basing my narrative off the much larger sample size in the playoffs, which is fair to do. You wouldn't say the 92 Bulls. Again, you wouldn't discount. You say, "Oh, they won 72 games. No one cares," right? Because even they were the best team offensively and defensively that year. But you would say that doesn't matter going into the playoffs at all?
It matters something, but I'm saying that you cannot just only use the regular season, because if that's the case, there's teams that with low seeds that made the finals and won titles.
Yeah, they made the finals.
Perform well in the playoff. I mean, in the regular season.
It's not like either of these teams won that. It's not like either of these teams won that. None of those. Neither of them won a championship.
Okay,
they both lost.
It ain't many teams that was a low seed and won the championship. It ain't many. It's about like 3 or 4, maybe.
I'm just saying,
and we're using hindsight, bro. We're talking about
just like saying most teams know in the playoffs, the seeding do not matter as much.
The Celtics were definitely not favored coming out of the regular season. Like they weren't even on anyone's radar. It was the Cavs, it was the Lakers, it was Portland. Like there was a couple of it was Phoenix. There was a bunch of other teams that were they just put it together.
Celtics was one of the favorite teams because the reason they didn't win because Kevin Garnett got hurt the year prior, so they was preparing for the playoffs. Everyone was preparing for the playoffs.
Okay, so they were like, "Hey, Boston sucks, but they're preparing for the playoffs."
Well, who said Boston sucked? I never heard Boston. I never heard.
You guys just did.
Heard Boston. No,
you guys were just like, "Hey, regular season doesn't matter."
They need the number one seed. They didn't need the number one seed to be dominant in the playoffs. That's what I said.
That's what he's trying to say. He's basically
nobody's saying that you need to be the number one team to be dominant in the playoffs, bro. We're saying that the best team on paper is still the best team on paper at the end of the regular season. Nothing's going to change that, no matter what you think.
That doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. That doesn't always matter.
So because Detroit was second in an 11-team conference and Boston was fourth in a 13-team, 15-team conference, that makes Pistons better?
You're trying to discredit their era. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Say that, Craig.
I said I've never heard how many teams were in the league at the time of proceedings so much than today. It's never mattered any other time or point when y'all want to compare eras until today. This is just my.
So, Brandon, let me ask you this: are the Detroit Pistons of this year?
I've never used. Listen, when I've compared players, you guys never see me bring up defensive rating, offensive rating, points per game.
Well, you know I don't use
players.
Stuff,
no, exactly. You can't bring that up for teams. I've always used accolades and achievements for teams. I've always used it. Always. I've never even used team record.
Brandon, so are the Detroit Pistons just getting ready for the playoffs this year? Are they really secretly better than the Cavs?
You funny, man.
Pistons like this year?
So the Cavs and the Cavs and the Thunder right now, like they're nowhere near the best teams. They're not the best teams in the league right now.
This year, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. So this year you're saying the Detroit Pistons are better than the Cavs?
No, that's your logic. You're saying that. You're saying that could be true.
I'm saying that that's not the only case to say someone's better. If you line up two teams, you can easily see which team is better. If you line up the 2010 Boston to the 1988 Pistons, Boston is a better team.
No, I'm saying do that right now where it makes sense. Do it right now where it makes sense, which is this era. Are you saying that if you line these teams up, Cavs smoke these Pistons in almost every analytic?
A significantly better team. The Cavs have a significantly better team.
Okay, and we know that because of how they're performing, correct?
Yes, correct.
No, because they will have.
Hold on.
No, but Travis, that's going to prove my point. Their performance will allow them to have all NBA, all defensive players, all stars, because they have good players on their team. That's why they're better. Like he said, if you line up the players, you would obviously they're better players. They're better.
Accolades.
I mean,
championship.
Okay, that's like saying the
Pistons had better players than everyone on their.
No, hold on. That's like saying the 1995 Rockets needed to have the best record in the league to win a title. No, the
No, it's
Rockets
not.
like the 6 or 17
You
seed.
keep
Like
saying it.
they already had
trying
the
to.
team
That's not the
assembled.
same
You keep trying
thing,
to
They didn't
interject
have
this
the
bullshit
best.
about
They
who's
didn't need to
winning
have
the
the best
title.
regular season to be dominant in the playoffs. That's what I'm
Maybe
saying.
the dumbest thing
They
you've ever
didn't need
said.
to have that.
No one's disagreeing with you on that. No one's saying that they needed to win a championship.
Travis. The point is that Detroit Pistons don't have nobody on their team that's better than Barkley, Bird, Magic, Jordan, Akeem Olajuwon, Clyde Drexler, Patrick Ewing, Karl Malone.
That doesn't
John
matter.
Stockton,
It's a
Dominique
team
Wilkins.
game.
Again, they don't have better players than Michael Cooper, Rodney McCray. Who the fuck is Rodney McCray? Why nobody on Detroit's on the all-defensive team? That Mark Eaton's on the all-defensive team. Fat Lever's on the all-defensive
Doesn't
team.
matter. Dennis Rodman's better. Dennis Rodman was.
No, he's not. Not in 1988.
Yes, he was.
And
He
not
was
in
top 50 one
1988. He's not on the all-defensive team, Travis.
That's voted on. He had better
By
defensive metrics than
by
all
the
over-
coaches. The guys
we
who are
go.
voting for the defensive team are media. I trust the coaches. The coaches are telling you that Alvin Robinson's a better defender than anybody that was on Detroit.
Yeah, I don't
Buck
care. And
Williams
the Pistons
is
were
a better
defensive team than the Hawks.
No, it doesn't matter what they were the better team from what. They don't have the players. Doesn't matter. All these teams had good players. All these teams had good teams. All these teams made the playoffs as well.
Great, and the Pistons are going to beat them.
No, the only difference is that they the only ones that didn't have the fortune to play against a choking Jordan. That's the only difference. Let's go to All-Stars. I see Danny Ainge in the All-Star game.
They beat
Not
the
Dennis
Bulls
Rodman.
and they beat the
Not
best Laker team
not
of all
a Dennis
time.
Rodman, not a damn Joe Dumars, not a Adrian Dantley. I don't see him. Maurice Cheeks is in the damn All-Star game. Brad Daugherty
cares?
is in the All-Star game.
You have no point here.
Doc Rivers is in the All-Star game. Doc
Doesn't
Rivers,
matter.
Mark Aguirre is
matter.
in a. That's why they
Everything
traded
from
for him.
Rocket has no bearing on my point at all.
That's why they traded for Mark Aguirre, because they needed an all-star to help them win a championship, to make them a better team in 1989.
They took one of the best Laker teams of all time to Game 7, and they would have won.
James Donaldson is an all-star.
So what?
Again, Steve Johnson is a.
How does that impact his team?
What you mean? All these guys got winning teams. There's only 23 teams in the league. Travis, what are you talking about?
How many of them were better than the Pistons by any measure?
Let me see here. The Atlanta Hawks won 50 games.
Crazy.
Detroit won 54 games, right?
Detroit. It doesn't matter. Detroit won 54 games, but the Atlanta Hawks won 50 games. So that means they were good. They were good enough. They were third seed, fourth seed, in the fourth seed. Better than what?
The Pistons.
Well, obviously, if they would have played them, they probably would have beat the Pistons. They didn't play the Pistons.
Why?
Who they played?
Why would they beat the Pistons?
Let me see here. Detroit Pistons beat the Washington Bullets. Well, let's see here. The Atlanta Hawks beat Milwaukee, and then they lost to Boston in a 7-game series.
Okay.
They lost to Boston in a 7-game series. But again, like I said, they have 2 All-Stars on their team, right? What's it called? Don't have it. They only got 1 All-Star on their team. Let's go to an All-Defensive player on their roster. Do they have an All-Defensive player on there? Who's on? Well, no, they don't have an All-Defensive player. Nobody from. Who the hell is Rodney McCray? Who did he play for? Rodney McCray.
I'm glad you guys are hearing this, because he's saying that names equate to results, which is false.
I'm talking about. No, I'm not.
False.
No, wait, Nate. I'm naming players
It's
who make
disingenuous,
all
too.
defensive. No,
It's
I'm naming
completely
players that are
disingenuous.
make. How am I disingenuous by naming the all defensive selection teams? How come the all defensive selection teams? How the all defensive selection team only matters when Jordan wins 9? How that only matters when Jordan wins 9? How it only matters? Scottie Pippen can win 10, and that doesn't matter. Anybody make the all defensive team? It don't fucking matter. Anybody else? Anybody else? Wait. Anybody else? Wait. Anybody else wins the steals titles, makes him the best defensive player, but only Jordan. Nobody else does. It's only Jordan. Anybody else who wins the steal title, they're not good defensively. Only Jordan. I don't understand this. I hear all the time. I just told you that Rondo won the steals titles.
Man, what is they Johnny talking about, bro?
I'm talking about the Pistons and where they rank relative to their era in that particular year. Johnny's crashing out.
I'm not crashing out. We're gonna end the fucking show because y'all not listening. Y'all not fucking listening. Y'all not fucking listening. Y'all not fucking listening. Y'all not listening. I keep using stats. I keep using accolades.
You ran away from the stats.
No, I use accolades. I keep telling you, these guys have the best players in the league on their team.
Who cares? It doesn't matter.
It does matter, Travis.
No, it doesn't.
And then, so why y'all get mad when LeBron James goes teams up with Dwayne Wade and all them because they're accolades? Huh?
Oh, here we go.
Why y'all get upset about that shit?
Who's upset?
Why y'all get mad? Y'all do get upset. Y'all always say the same shit. Y'all say Jordan had more help. Why? Because of accolades. Because of accolades. No. Yes.
What? More help? When did you team up with a Finals MVP? Never.
Accolade.
Yeah, I said Jordan had some of the most help ever.
Accolade.
I want that soundbite. Accolade.
Wait. Dwayne Wade's better than Scottie Pippen because of what? A Finals MVP. Accolade.
Yeah. I mean, it's debatable whether he was a better sidekick because Scottie was more consistent for many years, but
Chris Bosh is better than Horace Grant because of all-star selections. Accolade.
Stats.
Don't you
And he was the alpha of a team.
Accolade?
Chris Bosh was the alpha of a team for like 8 years.
LeBron James has better stats than Jordan. Jordan is better because he has accolades.
Glad you said it.
I didn't say he had more accolades. I just said he has accolades. That's what y'all use. His accolades. Yeah. What? Jordan? How is Jordan better defensively? All defensive selections. Steals types. Am I correct? Brandon, am I right?
And
Brandon?
analytics, that was fun.
Brandon,
That's
what
they
analytics?
say,
Stats.
What analytics? What analytics?
Team
Better
team
DPM, and he has more steals
Team
and blocks
stats.
per game.
Defensive. What? More blocks per game. Who has the better block percentage as far as advanced metrics? LeBron James or
Block
Jordan?
Percentage.
That's an advantage. That's what
Yeah.
it's called. That's
Who
metrics.
blocks
You said
more?
analytics. You
Block
said
more.
metrics.
Yeah.
Use
Hey,
the metrics. Who
We're
has
looking.
that?
We're
Who has
splitting hairs
that?
here.
We're not splitting hairs. You said use metrics. Why you stop using metrics now? Why?
Yeah. Defensive
Because-
rebounds, blocks goes to LeBron. Steals go to Jordan.
Defensive win shares. LeBron. The true measurement of how great of a defensive player is. Nobody's gonna sit here and say Nate
Defense
McMillan
goes
is one
to
of the great.
LeBron.
Nobody's gonna
Offense
say
goes to
Nate
LeBron.
McMillan is one of the greatest defenders of all time because he's second in defensive box plus minus. But everybody in the top 10 and defensive win shares is considered the greatest defenders to ever play the game. That's facts, ladies and gentlemen. You want to go to stats?
This is all because Boston was a better team than the '88 Pistons, is because Travis is going
No,
back
you're
and
just
forth.
saying that though. Like you can't back it up.
Because
They both lost in
You're
7
just
games
saying.
in the finals.
You're saying. You're literally saying they were better because you think they had better
they
players.
had a better,
No,
they're better
Adrian
players. Yeah.
Dantley. Adrian
They have a
Dantley's a
better-
top 10
they
scorer
have
of
a
all time.
better
Isaiah
roster.
Thomas is a
He's
top 5
better
point guard of all
players.
time. Adrian
They're
Dantley's a
arguing
top
with
10
the
scorer of all
Y'all
time.
literally
G,
sit here
all
arguing
year,
who
Ray
lost
Allen.
better because they both lost.
Dennis Rodman was a better defender on everyone than that team except for a prime
Wow.
Garnett.
Not in 1988. No, he
He
wasn't.
was.
Well,
No, he
yeah, right there.
wasn't. He was
He was top 10 in POI that year.
He was in his second year. He was in his second NBA
Doesn't matter.
season.
He was still great.
That's what he was. No, he wasn't great. How can you be great? He didn't. What did he do, Travis? Tell me, what did he do? What did he do?
Went to
What-
the finals
played
in his
great
second year,
defense.
like you said earlier.
He played great defense and helped that team to be one of the top 5 defenses in the league. That's what matters. What about
Travis.
to get? It's on a one-on-one. They're not playing darts. They're not playing fucking tennis or golf.
Travis.
Dennis
the
Rodman
man-
averaged less than 5 defensive rebounds per game, less than a steal, less than a block.
It doesn't matter. He was still guarding their best player.
He wasn't
Dennis
productive.
Rodman was never fantastic with defensive
He wasn't
stats
productive.
with the rebound.
He wasn't productive.
Travis.
He wasn't going to lead in blocks or steals. He was a
wasn't
shutdown
Travis.
defender.
No, he wasn't. Not in 1988.
Yes, he was.
Not in
You guys don't-
1988. No, he wasn't. You're lying. I got
That's the reason
footage. He was
Jordan
not
choked.
that.
That's the reason
'Cause
Jordan
you
choked.
So you guys are on the wrong side of history here.
Dennis Rodman,
That's
the guy
good.
that was picked, the guy that was picked in the second round from North Central Texas College, Southwestern Oklahoma State University. Who is Dennis Rodman? That's what I'm saying. These guys made a name for themselves off of
you guys want to
Jordan.
do by voting,
They
right?
made a
Voting
name
matters.
of themselves off of Jordan.
So according to the voters, he was a top 10 defender in the league that year, right? And
Okay,
you say
what
that
was
matters
okay?
because
Wait. Okay. Let me ask you that. What was Rondo that year?
Rondo that year.
What was Rondo
far
in
as what?
2010 defensive player of the year? Where was he ranked?
Let's see. Rajon Rondo. He was 5th.
Oh, so that makes it better than Dennis Rodman, correct?
Dennis Rodman was an all defensive player, so that means he wasn't good at defense.
That's your logic, not mine.
Well, I know Rondo was all defensive team, so
your
that makes it better.
logic.
Rondo was one of the
What?
best defenders in the league. And he made
That's
all
a Johnny's
defensive
logic.
team.
That's what he just said, B. Lee. B.
No,
Lee.
I-
He just
what?
said that. It's the same thing with
What?
AD take. What do you, B.
What?
Lee? Are you not hearing this? He
Ask
just
me
said
again.
because Rodman
Was
wasn't on defensive player.
He wasn't
a
one of the
team.
best defenders. He wasn't one of the best defenders
He
in the
wasn't.
league. No, he wasn't.
He
He
wasn't.
wasn't a top 10 defender.
He averaged less than 5 defensive rebounds, less than a steal, less than a block.
There were better defenders in the
he
league
wasn't
besides
productive.
Dennis Rodman.
Yeah,
there wasn't
he
that.
wasn't
There wasn't.
productive.
There wasn't 10 better defenders than Rondo in 2010.
What are you? Okay, you're just using that by what?
The same
thing I'm using.
Yeah, and no, but also no, I'm adding on that. Not only was he top 5 in defensive player of the year, which is what you were using, where you would vote in defensive player of the year. I'm also using that he was on the all defensive team, and the fact that he was the steals champ.
Okay.
You talking about LeBron teammate?
So that
makes him a top. That makes him a top 10 defender in the league. And he's on Boston.
Make him a top 10. Like, okay,
wow,
even like I said, even if you don't think Rodman, and this is ridiculous, you're just saying that. Even if statistically Rodman wasn't like dominating those particular stats, which has nothing to do with defense, or their impact rather, he still was part of the top of the 3rd best defensive team in the league by the numbers, which is what matters. Which is what I've been saying.
No, he's not. No, he's not. What numbers? What numbers are you using?
What do you mean? What numbers am I using?
What numbers are you using? The team that gave up 105 points per game, compared to a team that gave up 95 points per game?
No, you're still comparing these two teams with wildly different eras and paces. I'm saying for their team, for their league, for that year, for their era, they were one of the top 3 best defensive teams in the league. That's the only thing that matters.
That's based off of the stats.
Yes, that's based off of their team stats.
Okay. I get what you're saying. I get that. You're right. That's because that's what those teams were in competition of. Just because Boston was 5th all time and this team was 3rd doesn't make them better, because maybe Boston had to face teams that had better defenses than Detroit did. It's the whole point. They're not facing the same competition.
That's the era argument. That doesn't matter. You can't apply that. You have to look at their same year.
That's why we can use that. Rondo was a top 10 defender and Rodman wasn't. Name me the top 10
the
defender
overarching point,
on Detroit.
Though, is that
name me a top 10 defender on Detroit.
You're still trying to use that to say that Boston was inherently better than a team that was played like 30 years before.
Why can't I use the players and the players' production and what they actually do compared to everybody else in the league, compared to what Detroit did compared to everybody else in the league?
That's the whole point. Why can't but you can only use it compared to their own era.
That's what I am doing. That's what I'm saying. He's a top 10 player in 2010. Name me the top 10 player on Detroit in 1988.
We can't do individual players. It's about the team success.
Travis, name me the top 10 player that's on that team and defensively in 1988.
Top 10. I mean, other than Rodman, they probably didn't have a top 10 defensive player, but that doesn't matter. They all played great team defense.
Okay, so that means they had lesser defensive players on their team, correct?
You mean individually? As far as accolades go, maybe.
I mean, they're better defensively. They give up
all play great defense.
They give up less points per game. They give up less points per game.
It was the pace. It was the pace. You're not making any sense.
Your pace is dictated by your defense.
The pace in 1988 was like the second highest pace ever. Next to today was in the 80s. The slowest pace ever was from 07 to 10.
Okay, it doesn't matter. The pace.
That's all that matters.
No, your pace is dictated by your defense. That's the point. Yes, it is.
No, it's
not.
It
is. Yes,
the style of play.
If we go to Detroit's pace, they were 14 out of 23 in the NBA, and the Boston was 22nd out of 30. So they were just as bad slowing down defenses, because that's how you play defense. You slow teams down, so you slow the pace down. That's how you do it. That's how you have one of the top defenses, by slowing the pace down. So again, these numbers don't show who's the better team. They're not facing the same competition. None of that show. The only way to show who's the better team is by the amount of players that they have on their team and those caliber of players.
No, it's not. You judge them by how they performed versus their competition.
They didn't have the same competition. You can't do that. They don't have the same competition.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't. Detroit did not face the same teams or have the same.
No one's saying that they face the same teams, but you judge them you judge the team success by how high.
You can't, because
yes, you can. That's the only way you do it.
Because Travis, what if there were more better defensive teams in 2010 than there was in 1988? Travis,
it doesn't matter. You're on the same footing. You're in the same era.
It's tougher comp. I'm facing tougher comp, Travis. That's why it's different. That's why you can't do it.
No, you're not.
Yes, it is by measurement, because I'm facing tougher teams. I got tougher teams. You don't know what you're
That's
talking
debatable.
about. All because Jordan fucking choked. This is you standing hardcore for Jordan, because he can't be the
Jordan.
Because name me anybody that's in the GOAT debate that lost to a team with no All NBA and no All Defensive player on their roster. We know We know a bunch of. It is about Michael Jordan, because 1988 is all about Michael Jordan. 1988 is all about Michael Jordan.
No, 1980 is about your obsession with
Jordan choking.
the guy who, like, you wish like you were in his colon right now. And like
No,
we
I'm
don't
not.
care about LeBron
I don't care
James.
about that. I don't care about that. I care about proving you wrong by trying to not actually have any standard of any kind right now.
Any standard? What are you talking about? There's only one standard you can adhere to, and it's the here and now. You can't be like you can't be like the 2010 Celtics would obliterate the 1960 Celtics. Of course they would.
No, because the
They'll beat the 1988 Pistons.
Because the 1960 Celtics got all NBA players on their roster. That's what I know.
Okay, so they would beat the 2010.
They got a better chance versus the 2010 Boston Celtics.
So you would say the 1964 Celtics with a prime Bill and like prime Honda, all these guys, right? They would beat the 2010 Celtics.
They have a better chance. They have
would
a
they
chance.
beat them? Would they beat
They have
them?
a better chance. No matter. Let's go look at. Let's just go look at the 1964 Celtics. Let's go look at them.
Sure.
Let's look at.
So this is going to be hilarious if you think a team that team, because of they won the accolades from their time, would beat the 2010 Celtics. This is just going to be the best soundbite of them.
So why does 88 beat to 2010? Why does 88 beat 2010?
Because I think they match up better, but I'm not saying they would for sure beat them.
Why would they? Okay, again, we got Bill Russell, All NBA team. We got Sam Jones, All NBA team. Tom Hyacinth, All NBA team. That's 3 All NBA players on that team. Yes, they're better. Oh, that's 3 All-Stars. I'm sorry, that's 3 All-Stars. Then if we go to the All NBA team, we got John Havlicek, Tom
would have been
Hyacinth, Bill Russell. So they got 3 All NBA players and 3 All-Stars on their roster.
And Bill would have been DPOY too.
I'm not going with accolades that exist that didn't exist. I'm going off of what existed. I told you, I named the accolades. I told you All NBA, All Defensive Team, All Stars. And again, they had 3 All Stars and 3 All NBA players on their roster. You can't tell me that the 1988 Pistons are better. I'm taking the 1964 Boston Celtics over the 2010 Celtics as well.
Head up.
They have 3 All NBA players and 3 All Stars.
Who cares?
They're a better team.
They did that facing inferior competition, Johnny. Remember? According to your logic, they were facing far less competition.
I always use the same metrics. I've always used it because it doesn't matter how many teams in the league, how many players in the league. If you're a top 10 player in the league, that makes you one of the best players in the league. That means that's what I want. If I'm a draft a team, I'm gonna go get top 10 players. I'm not gonna go get no scrubs. I'm not gonna skip top 10 players to go get some other bums. I'm not going to do that.
So you're saying those players, the Celtics would, because they had those accolades back then, would magically be able to take this Celtics team head up.
Travis, I'm saying that the 1964 team is a better team than the 2010 Boston Celtics team because they
for
had
their era, right?
They had
for their era.
They had, it's always for their era. They had the better players. It's for the better play. Again, that they had the better players in their era. I'm not using their points per game in the comp. I'm using the fact that there's 3 players on the Boston Celtics team in 1964 that were considered top 10 players in the league.
Okay.
Having
and
the best,
their production backed it up.
Having the better players gives you the better team.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. Not always.
Name me a team that doesn't have any great players on them that's winning, Travis.
Your definition of great, it's production. It doesn't have anything to do with these accolades
Travis,
or awards.
Name me a team that has no guys that are the top 10 players in the league, Travis, that is a scrub team. I please love it. Tell me that, guy. Tell me that. Show me a team that don't have no top 10 player in the league, and that's a good team. I've never heard of that before, Travis. You're smoking crack.
So
You're smoking crack. You're on heroin.
We're going to go ahead and expose you next week on that.
Go ahead and do that.
Go ahead and
do that. Y'all can't expose me because I stand 10 toes down.
Yeah, you sent it on the most ridiculous takes ever, and that's one of them.
It's only ridiculous
because
you can't debunk it. You can't expose it.
No. And plus, you're saying these teams, the 88 Celtics or 88 Pistons did have a number of great players on their team. You're talking like Adrian Dantley and Isaiah Thomas. And
what did Adrian Dantley make? Did he make an All-NBA team? Did he make an All-Defensive team?
It doesn't matter. They were producing. They were defending. They were winning games.
That means he wasn't a top 20 player in the league. There was other players better than him.
So only top 20 players can score 20 points a game?
No, Travis. If you're scoring and you're doing things productively, you will make an All-NBA team, All-Defensive team, or All-Star team.
Obviously, that's not correct.
How it works. That's how it works.
Nope. Adrian Dantley scored 20 points per game on 51% shooting that year.
And that means he wasn't the best players in the league. There was players better than him. There were players better than him. That's the point.
Matter.
And that's why they were not
the better team.
There wasn't teams that had better players than the Boston Celtics in 2010, but there was teams that had better players than the Pistons in 1988. That's the point.
Wait, you're saying that the 2020 Boston have the best players in the league?
The 2014 Spurs has all NBA and all defensive players on their roster. You guys keep bringing up teams that have all NBA and all defensive players on their roster. You guys can't bring me no team that y'all have yet to bring me any team that has no all NBA player and no all defensive player on the roster.
2010 Boston Celtics lost to Kobe Bryant. He was the only all NBA, all defensive player on that league or on that team.
No, wrong. Paul Gasol was also all NBA. They had two.
I'm sorry, he was an all-star though, right? And like you're saying that that was a better team. That was a better team than Lakers.
I didn't say they were a better team than Lakers or not. I just said that they had one of the better teams. Now, if you want to say that the Lakers were better, yeah, because they had two all NBA players and an all defensive player. The Boston Celtics didn't have that, and they had two all stars. The only thing the Boston Celtics had was more all stars. They had 3 all stars.
And they had, pretty sure they had a number of all defensive teams too, or all defensive players.
Yeah, they only had one all defensive player in 2010. It was in 2009 that they had, I think they had 2 guys. Or in 2011. One of those 2 years they had 2 guys. But I know they had that. They had that in 2008 as well. They had defensive player of the year, all defensive player, all NBA players.
Okay, so what you're not realizing is that when you look at the records and the team achievements, what you're saying is that the teams that, like, their results don't matter. Okay, even though these players that had some better players on their roster were outperformed. The Celtics, 2010 Celtics, right? They only won 50 games. There were a number of teams that outperformed them during the regular season. What you're saying is that doesn't matter because they're secretly better than those teams just based on their name recognition. That's it. That's all you're saying, right?
No, I'm not based off of name recognition. No, Travis, because if we go to those teams that you're going to consider better, I guarantee you those teams will have all NBA and all defensive players on their roster.
Not more than the Celtics. I promise you that.
All right, let's go to the 2008 Boston Celtics, the teams that had a better record than them. Let's go to, I'm sorry, not 2008, 2010 Boston Celtics. So 2010 Boston Celtics. All right, the Cleveland Cavaliers had LeBron James, all NBA, all defensive team, and Varejao. They had a better record than than the Boston Celtics. Let's go to the Atlanta Hawks. Let's go to the Atlanta Hawks. Oh, wait, let's go to the Atlanta Hawks. And 2010, the Atlanta Hawks won 3 more games. And let's see here. They had Al Horford, Josh Smith, Joe Johnson, Jamal Crawford. Let's see if any one of these guys made an all-star team or all NBA team or all defensive team. Let's see here. Let's look here. All right. Joe Johnson was all NBA team. Let's continue. Let's move.
Wait, all NBA? Okay. That's still less than the Celtics, right?
Yeah. Again, yeah, I'm not the one who's using team records. You keep going to team records. Again, the team that you think is good because they won 53 games had an all NBA player on their roster. That means they had a top 10 player, top 15 player on their team. That's what that means. That they were not a scrub team because they had one of the best players in the league on their team. That's factual, sir. That you keep avoiding this. You keep avoiding that. Good
There's nothing avoiding. You're saying that the 88 Pistons were nothing but scrubs, which is a lie.
I'm telling you, they were not as good as you're trying to make them. They didn't have an all NBA player, all defensive player on their roster. They were only good because Jordan choked.
So you're saying that their results, their team results for the league was just a lie?
What team results? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about the team.
54 games, and they were top 3, or they were top 10 in basically every metric that matters, offense and defense.
They had 54 wins because they played 6 times versus the same team, and they played the Western Conference twice. It's not the same thing as in 2010 when you're playing the same team in your conference 4 times and then more teams added. You can't use team records. You're trying to use team records. I keep telling you, I use accolades.
Oh, that's so stupid, though.
No, because it keeps it go. It's the only thing you can't stand on. You keep trying to poke at it, but you can't. You have yet to poke at it. Every team because every team you keep mentioning that you consider is a good team has an all NBA player, all defensive player on the team, and multiple all stars. You don't have that with that Boston team. The Pistons teams. That's the point. That Pistons team didn't have that. You can't name me any team that is a good team without any all NBA or all defensive player on the roster, but the team that Michael Jordan choked against in 1988.
No.
Who also didn't accomplish.
Who cares? It doesn't matter. Like, you're saying that these are the end all be all things, and that doesn't matter. Like, teams without these things can still play well as a team. It's a cohesive unit. They don't have to be recognized for the all defensive or all NBA teams.
If we use team accomplishments, both teams won their divisions, both teams won their conferences, both teams lost in the thing. So
this team went to the finals. They were the best team,
and so did Boston. So did Boston.
Yes.
But again,
so they were objectively the best teams in the era.
And like y'all said, if LeBron doesn't choke versus them, they don't make the finals. Then the same thing with the Pistons. If Jordan doesn't choke versus them, they don't make the finals.
I can admit that.
But at least Boston's a better team than the Detroit Pistons.
Okay.
Because they had better players. That's the point. A team with better players is always going to be a better team. That's just the facts.
Regardless of record or circumstance.
Yeah, because I don't count records from separate years and divisions and whatever, separate eras. They're different eras.
I agree. That's why you can only go by the era.
No, but that's why I can only go by the players you have on your team, the caliber of players you have on your team. That's how you do it. Because now I know how good you are.
That's ridiculous. Agree to disagree, but move on.
Of course we're going to agree to disagree because Jordan's a choker, and that's just the facts. Jordan choked, and y'all can't prove that Jordan didn't choke, so y'all want to make excuses for Michael Jordan, and that's why
Jordan definitely. Nobody's making excuses. I've been one of the first. He definitely underperformed that series.
That's only because you're on GOAT James Kingdom. Prior to that, nobody was saying that because here in GOAT James Kingdom, we are the clutch sports hitmen. We don't care for lies. We don't create narratives. We don't hold LeBron James to a different standard. We stick to the same stats and accolades and achievements that we do across the board. And with everything that we say, LeBron James is the greatest player to ever play the game of basketball. He's faced the toughest competition out of anybody that you want to add into the GOAT debate. He had least help out of anybody that's in the GOAT debate. He's achieved more than anybody in NBA history. He is the GOAT of basketball, and we prove it every Sunday right here on GOAT James Kingdom. Now, if you also want to become a member of the channel, check out our membership. Like I said, we do special things for our members, like our special GOAT James Kingdom Members Gala, where we get together on a Monday. Y'all come check me tomorrow night. We're going to get together right here on StreamYard, and we can watch some games, talk about basketball, do what we do best. So definitely check out the GOAT James Kingdom membership. We have different perks. Shout out to all of our GOAT James Kingdom members, including you, Travis, including you, Herm, including you, Ochi Takes, all of you guys for what y'all do supporting us here in GOAT James Kingdom. Because, again, we're going to continue to try to give you guys best content and explain the game of basketball correctly. Because, as you can see, some guys just want to talk just to talk. But here in GOAT James Kingdom, we don't talk to talk. We prove everything we say. Also, ladies and gentlemen, y'all do y'all best to check us out on Facebook, on Instagram. TikTok is still around, so y'all can follow us on TikTok. We're also on Discord. This is what we do here in GOAT James Kingdom. We have the best platform to talk the GOAT debate because we're not afraid to talk the GOAT debate. All we do is explain why LeBron James is the greatest player of all time. So we want to tell everybody have a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thank you for joining us. This is GOAT James Kingdom. Peace and blessings, y'all.
If you're a basketball fan and you're tired of basketball shows that talk about fake narratives and using non-basketball terms like killer instinct, playoff translation, gravity, come to GOAT James Kingdom.
Welcome to GOAT James Kingdom, where basketball lives forever. You get to enjoy BB and A Johnny talk basketball every Sunday noon Eastern time right here on the GOAT James Kingdom channel. Support by subscribing and also check out the membership at GOAT James Kingdom.